Okay, so I think we're live. It is 1:06 on Sunday morning. It is the 5th day of October here, 2025. We got Paula in the house. Good to see Paula. Sorry I couldn't respond to I was trying to check the light in my car, tail light in my car. So apologize for that, but it's good to see you. Gretchen is here. Good to see Gretchen in the house. Thank you everybody for coming in. Appreciate it. Let me get rid of this. Hold on a second. I'm outside, so that's good news. It's going to be just warm enough to be out here for tonight's live, so that's good news. Good to see everybody. We're going to go over the true crime cases of the week. I got a couple of missing person cases. Both of them I think are updates. Not sure. And then we're going to go over the headlines for the week. A couple of crazy cases going on out there, but let me play. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's having a good week. But let me play an intro, and then we'll be right back. It's always good to see everybody. Like I said, hope everybody's well. Been a crazy week. All right, so let's hold on a second here. Carol's in here. Good to see Carol. Good to see Jenny. Good to see everybody. Let me play my intro, and I'll be back shortly. Then we'll go over. We'll get going. Let's see. I'll play this one here. All right, so let me be right back. Okay, so that's the end of that. Good to see everybody. Good to see Shibby's in the house. Who else we got here? We got Paula. We got Gretchen. We have Jenny 8675309 is in here. Technically Jenny 867. Good to see Jenny in here. Southern Gal's in here. Hey Southern Gal, how are you? Good to see you. I haven't seen a lot of your lives lately. Are you taking a break, or I hope you're well. Doodles is in here. Is that Doodlebug or is that just Doodles? Doodle is in here. Jenny's in here. Let's see who else is in here. Gretchen is in here. I said that already. Carol. Let's see here. And I think that's it for now, but that's good enough. Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's doing good this week. Mustang's in here. Good to see Mustang. Good to see Southern Gal in here too. I hope you've been taking a break, been busy with life lately. Yeah, I was. I got to take a break here at some point too, but there's just too much shit going on out there. Been trying to fix the tail light in my car too, so that's been taking up most of my life. And then of course there's football going on, and then there's the tropics. So it's been, for me, it's been a pretty crazy week. But anyways, it's good to see everybody. Good to see Southern Gal in here. Southern Gal is amazing. Hopefully she gets back to doing her lives again soon. Tremendous content creator. She's just amazing. We got Doodlebug in here too. I think that's Doodlebug. And Mustang's in here too. This stuff really gets to you though. Sometimes I get it. It's Hiawatha's in here too. Hey Hiawatha, good to see you. All right, so what are we gonna do first? I do want to let me see here. I should be back with my missing person Monday live. Good. Awesome. I can't wait. All right, what am I going to do first? I'm try to do 2 missing person cases here this week here. I think both of them are actually updates, but I could be wrong. So let's start off here locally anyways. This is going on in Methuen, Massachusetts, I think, and this is I wanted to kind of cover this last week, but I ran out of time, I think. So this is going on in Methuen, Massachusetts here. They've busted open a hold on, let me share here. Hold on a second here. Yes, we definitely missed Southern Gal. All right, so we missed Steve too. I haven't seen Steve for a while. All right, so let's right now I'm watching a Duke game. Yes, there's still football on. It's Duke is playing right now. Thank God for West Coast teams. Duke and Cal is playing right now. But anyways, let me share this here. Hold on a second here. Okay, so this is good news here. Methuen officials provide this latest details on the human trafficking arrest, and they've been going around busting a whole bunch of these places here for a manager has been arrested and charged with STing 2 other women. So this is good news. So we'll try this first, and then we'll move on to other things. But this happened. I think this is actually the press conference here. This happened 5 days ago.
The business closed. Seized evidence and interviews with the 2 women working there are driving our ongoing investigation. Zhu was arrested on September 26th and faces arraignment today. This marks the start of our campaign to end.
You're watching the Cal game? Yeah, it's a good game. Thank you, Southern Gal, for doing that.
And human trafficking in Methuen. These crimes exploit the vulnerable, and they threaten our community. We want to say to the people running these operations, and we know that there are others operating now within the city of Methuen, we want them to know that we're coming for them next. To the Johns that fuel this despicable trade, we want to say that you are not.
All of this stuff is kind of crazy. I mean, it's 2025, right? You would think that this stuff here, it would be impossible for this stuff to happen, but it still happens. This stuff here is going on right underneath people's noses, and people don't even realize it. So this is good that they're trying to get rid of some of this stuff here.
Invisible, and we intend to target you with the full force of law. I want to say thank you to the Methuen police officers that have worked this investigation and continue to do so. I want to thank our partners in law enforcement.
Good to see Shibby's in here too. I don't know if I already mentioned that. Shibby's in here. Good to see Shibby. I haven't seen Heather around. Hopefully Heather's okay. I was watching Monster Ed Gein finish the whole season. Oh, yeah. That's a good one too. That's definitely a good one.
Including the Lawrence Police Department, the Essex County District Attorney's Office, Homeland Security, and the IRS. Above all, I want to thank our vigilant residents who first reported this suspected activity and pointed us in the right direction. And with that, I will turn it over to the mayor for a brief statement.
Good morning. Today marks an important moment in Methuen's fight against human trafficking and sexual servitude. This is just the beginning. The city of Methuen has zero tolerance for these terrible crimes in our community, and we are making that clear with decisive action. I want to acknowledge the people and departments who made this possible. First, Chief Scott McNamara and Methuen Police Department. Their determination.
Here's Heather. Hey, Heather, how are you? Good to see you. Heather's here. John Paul Hansen's here. Who else is here? There she is. Okay, good. Good to see Heather. I hope you're well, Heather. I haven't seen you all week. I've seen John Paul Hansen around places, but I haven't seen Heather. but it's good to see Heather in here. I hope you're well, like I said. Just going over this case that this happened last week, not sure. But this is the press conference. They've been busting up some of these HT places here, especially down here in Massachusetts.
And professionalism
I just can't believe this stuff still happens. I don't know how it does.
pursuing this case has been extraordinary. Also, Director Kaylee Teagan-Jampak in the Department of Health, Human Services.
Lisa Joe's here. Hey, Lisa Joe, good to see you. I keep forgetting about that case that you told me about, that you were working on. Good to see John Paul Hanson in the house, though. Feel free to go over and check out John Paul Hanson. I think that Lighting the Way Home, not Lighting the Way Home. I think Enlighten in the Dark was live tonight too. I hope I didn't jump on her stream. St. Louis Jane Doe, that's the one. Okay, thank you. Let me write that down. Good to see you though.
Services and inspections, who acted immediately to enforce our laws and protect public safety. And of course, the concerned citizens of Methuen, our neighbors and small business owners, who came forward with information that helped launch this investigation.
Last week, I also forgot to say goodbye to Barbara, who was in here. But it's tough for me, to go through the chat sometimes. So I apologize about that. But I should write these names down. But it's really hard on StreamYard to go back all the way up to scroll all the way up to the top. So I should write them down. But I'm just not that intelligent. So I'm sorry.
Without you, this operation might still be hidden in plain sight. Let me be clear. From a policy standpoint, we are declaring war on.
She's still good. She's you saw the Taylor Swift movie. My daughter was up at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with that. Enlightening in the Dark, is that it? Feel free to throw that in here too. She's amazing. We love her too. She's just absolutely amazing. It's good to see her doing lives again too. But I was watching part of the football game, so I wasn't even on. I don't think I was on any of the true crime stuff or anything like that for the last 4 or 5 hours for sure. But it's good to see that she's doing lives again. She's amazing.
Human trafficking in the city of Methuen. We will identify and apprehend traffickers. We will shut down every business in our city that profits from this evil, and we will hold landlords accountable if they enable it. If you are engaged in these crimes, we will find.
How does this stuff even happen? Like, how do people get away with this? This is so weird. Deb's in here. Hey, Deb, good to see you. It's good to see Deb. Wow, it's good to see you, Deb. There were no previews to the Taylor Swift movie. I know that the album came out. I know that. Good to see Deb in here for sure, though. Good to see Hebby in here too. Always good to see Hebby.
Find you, and as the chief mentioned, we are coming after you next. Methuen is a community that stands for dignity, safety, and justice.
That's too funny.
Human trafficking.
Did you hear what he said? Methuen stands for dignity. Have you ever been to Methuen?
And has no place here. Today is a first step, but it will not be the last. I'm also announcing today that I am establishing a human.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much, Heather, for putting that in there. She's amazing. Enlighten in the Dark is absolutely amazing. Thank you, Heather.
Trafficking task force in the city so that we can continue to work together and combine our efforts to tackle this issue. Together with our police, our public health professionals.
That's the real reason why I give out wrenches, because it would take me forever to find these channel names and put them in the chat. So I definitely appreciate that. That's what I've been getting back to, writing more. Writing is good for the soul, for sure. I hope you're well, Heather. I hope Miranda's okay too. I haven't seen Miranda this week at all either.
And our law enforcement partners at the state and federal level. And of course, our vigilant residents. We will root out this exploitation and protect the people of Methuen. Thank you.
The other thing too, I think I hit, I'm not sure, but I think I hit 350 subscribers last week, or was it this week? At some point over the last couple of weeks. And I really want to thank everybody for helping out with that. I appreciate that. When I started this thing here, she has released 8 exclusive acoustic versions of the same album. Oh, okay. But what was I talking about? I do appreciate all the support, all the help you guys have been doing with that. When I started, this horrible true crime YouTube thing that I got going here, I thought I'd maybe get 10 subscribers. So definitely happy with that. It's not about subscribers here ever for me. It's just about getting out the word, making sure we shed some light on some of these cases that don't get a lot of coverage. But thank you, Southern Gal. Appreciate that. But it is nice to see that some people care, right? Like, whatever. All right, we'll do a little bit more of this and we'll move on to something else.
So with that, we'll answer any questions that you may have.
I have one. The resident we interviewed said she'd been working with you guys for about 2 years on this. How did you guys get to the point that you're able to issue the search warrant? Was there like a catalyst after these past 2 years that allowed your officers to actually go inside?
Well, I can say that, yeah, this has been an ongoing investigation, and we started to develop more in the last 90 days or so. Obviously, we conducted surveillance operations that led to us stopping a number of patrons that were coming and going from that business. From that, we developed some specific intelligence. Ultimately, we were able to actually put an undercover police officer into the establishment, and we allege that officer was in fact solicited while in the business. So with that, we were able to apply for and obtain a search warrant for the premises, and that's more or less how that investigation developed.
And there were 2 women found in the basement, but again, this resident tells us she's been seeing this for years, so I have to imagine there's more victims.
Well, there were two women that were working there, and one of the reports that we're getting from concerned residents was that they had seen women entering the business, but they never would see them leaving the business, which suggested that they were there overnight, of course. And that's what we found. We found in the basement, essentially was made almost like a residential apartment, that they were living there long term.
Unbelievable.
So there's just 2 women when you went there, but it's believed that women have been coming in and out of this business.
You would think you'd see stuff like this in a third world country, or, a country that, doesn't get a lot of spotlight, but here, right in Massachusetts, this is weird. This is bizarre.
It's possible that there are other people that were working there, but these were the primary 2 victims that we found working at the business.
Could you tell us about where those 2 women are now?
We believe they're in New York City. We, of course, reached out and offered to provide.
I don't know the exact evidence they have, but I know they've been all over the place down there in Massachusetts. This is not the only one. There's like 3 or 4 different places that they've raided over the last couple weeks. So we'll see.
Whatever services that they're willing to accept. But of course, they are adult females, and it's up to them whether or not they want to avail themselves of any services that we're able to provide.
So after they were interviewed, they were free to go?
They were, yeah.
Can you tell us just about the severity of human trafficking here in Methuen? The fact that you're going to set up a full task force now means that this must be a big issue.
Yes, so there are definitely some additional business entities that are suspected in our eyes to be engaging in this activity, and our plan is to focus on those next. But I think broadly speaking, it's really critical for us to do everything we can to work with our federal and state partners, and I think also on a regional basis with other communities in the Merrimack Valley and even here at the local level to do more, to do things like overhaul business regulatory frameworks, unmasking shell companies that could help reveal business owners, supporting effective survival.
This stuff right here is a nightmare. You know, you just protesting. Toronto lost. Toronto always loses. But raid fridges. Yeah.
Survivor-centered law enforcement, and also finding ways to close loopholes in the commercial real estate industry. So there are a whole host of things that I think we need to do. But in terms of the next step, my plan is to convene this task force. It would include, obviously, the Methuen Police Department, our Department of Health, Human Services, and Inspections, and also, of course, the city's legal department, so that we can begin to really hone in on these issues and the reports that we receive from residents and get at this from a broader standpoint. Now, I think the most critical thing here is, I want our residents who see this type of activity or suspect it to be forthcoming, to reach out and share their concerns with us so that we can have, in essence, a path forward by way of, leads and the like. So, this really is a combined effort.
All right, so that's that. It's the end of that. I'm keeping an eye on that though too, because like I said, I can't believe this stuff still happens. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right, so let's go back to the chat for a second. There's Arctic Fox there. Arctic Fox is amazing. All right, so that's the end of that. Let's move on to this guy here. I don't know if you guys have seen this here. This is another thing I wanted to play last week here, but I didn't get time to do it. So apparently, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This guy here. This was done almost 2 weeks ago now. In an exclusive interview, Lauren Krause, the son of Franz and Teresa Krause, sat down with CBS 6. A large police presence gathered at 6 Crestwood Court in Albany Tuesday to execute a search warrant related to suspected financial crimes. So this guy basically confesses to unaliving his parents during an interview. So here we go. Whoop.
Road. I'm not White Hole, Wolf Road, and she fell down on her face, and she had when I saw her a week or so later, yellow and green, black and blue marks from this, and she wrote that down, and that was a situation that became a problem, because when elderly start to fall down, the time comes that they start to, beginning of the end. And my father also had cataract surgery, and he lost his vision to double vision, so he couldn't be he couldn't drive. So they were losing their independence and so forth. And my mother had a brother who had Alzheimer's, and my father had a sister who had Alzheimer's. They were both in nursing homes. My mother had a second sister who also had Alzheimer's. And
this guy's effed up. This is terrible. This is awful. Yeah, mercy killings. Yep. His mom forgets to use her turn signal. Yeah, this is he did it out of sympathy. Yeah, sure.
they put you in a bed, they put catheters into you, they they rip your teeth out to try to keep you, the whole 9 yards. So this is in the back of my mind.
You think? Like, some people, man, telling you, unbelievable. I saw this and I immediately, I shouldn't be laughing because it's not that funny, but this, I mean, you're on camera here.
So you didn't want to see them deteriorate and go through that, did you?
And I'll mention, the police know about my sister and having to see my sister die from cancer. I was 16, she was 14. Go through 9 months or so of, the agony of cancer patients.
So did you kill your parents as a mercy killing to put them out of their misery? You can be honest with us.
I know. I'll leave that for the statement that I put on your website.
The
But-
statement doesn't mention that.
I know,
The
I
statement
know, I
does not
know.
mention that.
Right.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What did you do to your parents?
I buried them in their property.
You buried them in the backyard of that house in Albany.
Right.
At what point did they become deceased?
I need to see a calendar to sometime August 2017.
And did they die at your hand? That's the question.
Right. I'll have to leave it for that statement.
But that's not in the statement. And I think
Right.
it's important for people to know what happened to your parents.
Right.
They were your parents. You loved them. They were deteriorating. What did you do?
I will.
Don't tell me you're going to leave it to the statement because it's
Well,
not in the statement.
I know.
What did you do to your parents?
My goal is for the American people to recognize that there's 40 million boomers. They're all going to go through the same kind of problems.
Mhm.
It affects all of us, and we need to widen up the law so that people can deal with these kind of problems in a humane way, in a whatever way that people can deal with. And I did my duty to my parents.
So you ended their lives.
I won't.
You're
admit it.
saying that without actually saying that word. I want to hear you say that word. You
Yes.
ended their lives
I have
to give them mercy, you're saying.
to plead my Fifth Amendment rights until I can disclose it with my statement there.
Did you have any concern that whatever you did was wrong?
I would never have done such a thing if I ever did it, knowing it's wrong.
So you believe what you did was right. You believe taking your parents' lives was the right
Oh my God. He's doing this on television.
thing to do for their sake.
If I did it, absolutely that.
But you did do it. You're saying to us that you did it.
There's a statement there that we'll deal with more later, if you want to know.
Lawrence, I appreciate that, and we'll talk about your statement, but show me where in the statement it says that you killed your parents. It doesn't. It doesn't talk
Right.
about the fate of your parents here. You
Right.
keep talking about the statement answering my question, but the statement does not answer my question. It's the question people want to know. And I think they need to hear it from you.
Yes, there's
So-
time for that.
And I think now's the time. Did you kill your parents to put them out of their misery?
My concern for their misery was paramount.
Mhm.
And
I can actually see a situation where, if it's a situation where there's just no hope, there's no but it needs to be done maybe in a situation where it's just not just this guy just smothering him or something like that, just in a controlled situation. It's just, but this guy's he's saying this on national television, right? It's just weird.
it was a huge burden to have to face this coming up.
It's Grandma Sherry's in here. Grandma Sherry, how are you? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. I do appreciate all of the support. I know you watch a lot on the replay, and I really appreciate that. Grandma Sherry's awesome. It's always good to see her here. Yeah, that's probably what the cops are going to try to find out. This guy is just sometimes you can just use the eye test here. It's just, I don't think this guy's right.
This is a horrible situation.
Sure. So you alleviated that burden.
Sure.
You're a good questioner. I have to protect my Fifth Amendment rights on this until the right time.
I'm not an attorney. I'm
Right.
not an officer of the law. You don't have to say that to me.
Yes, but I mean, whatever I say here is going to be held against me elsewhere, right?
Of course, but you probably answer to a higher authority anyway in the long run. So I
Right.
think you can tell us what happened. Did you kill your parents together at the same time in the same place? What method did you use?
All of that, all that kind of stuff I would answer later with that deal with the American people.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I think I think I heard that. Always so what you're so welcome here all the time, Grandma Sherry. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you. Yeah, this is it's this guy's crazy, in my opinion. This guy's just really There's something wrong with him upstairs here.
But I'm not going to speak about such things like that.
But you have a chance to tell the American people right now.
I want their feedback on my statement. Then I can believe that I can tell the truth uninhibited.
You don't think you're going to get better feedback if you're honest with them? And
Well,
tell
I'm-
us what happened?
I put things in the right order that have to be in the right order. But it's very important that insofar as exculpatory material, the police have that statement from my mother regarding what happened to her crossing the street at Wolf Road, falling down, you know.
Right,
And she
that-
also had a problem with, she mentioned she was getting lines in her eyes for some reason. And there was no, I don't know what that would be.
That was the prelude that helped set things in motion, you're saying.
That was the,
That started your parents' downhill trend, health-wise.
yes, but also the letter from her to me said, do something. Or this is, you need to know this in a way that was,
Your parents asked,
Yeah, Grandma Sherry's awesome. It's always good to see her here. This guy doesn't pass the test for me. There's something wrong with him, I think. Just my opinion.
you to kill them or to take their lives in a merciful fashion?
I think they want me to take responsibility for things.
They asked you to take their lives, to do what they couldn't do?
Implicitly, but not explicitly.
I haven't seen Dino around lately either. I hope Dino's okay.
So you were just granting their wishes?
My mother, after my sister died, my mother would give me these do not resuscitate things
Mhm.
every few months. And she wanted to die.
Yeah, he could be. That's a good statement that he might be. Either that or somebody up here, I think it was Southern Gal said psychopath. There's something about this guy that just doesn't sit well with me. Dino's okay, just working a lot. Okay, good. Thank you, Heather.
I've given her grief for my sister, her daughter.
And you love your parents and you wanted to honor their wishes?
You know, there's something special about our family that we can somehow read each other's minds. And so being things explicit isn't necessarily, you know, I could complete my grandmother's sentences for her and she would say, well, you know, so, I mean, the context of all this became to bear on me.
Thank you, Southern Gal. Did you just hear what he just said? Hold on a second.
Our family that we can somehow read each other's minds. And so being things explicit isn't necessarily,
He just said they could read each other's minds.
you know, I could complete my grandmother's sentences for her and she would say, well, you know, so, I mean,
Really? Yeah, this guy's batshit crazy, man.
the context of all this became to bear on me.
Boston Christian's here. Good to see Boston Christian. Yeah, this guy's scary. It's always good to see Boston Christian here. Hope you're doing well, Boston Christian. Hope everybody's doing well.
One parent, did your mom or your dad more so than the other ask you to take their lives?
They didn't explicitly say that, but they,
Is that a stutter? Does anybody think that's a stutter?
Ask you to take their lives?
they didn't explicitly say that, but they made it clear that they were going downhill.
When it actually happened, when your parents died, did they know it was happening to them?
Oh, yeah.
And they knew it was at your hand?
Well, yes, no one else's.
So let me know if anybody wants a wrench. Deb, was that a stutter? Does anybody think that's a stutter?
Right. So they realized what you were doing.
Or what do they call it? Stammer? Is that like a stammer?
To them as it happened.
Yes,
They knew that this was it for them, that they were perishing at your hand.
yes. And it was so quick.
How did you do it?
Yeah, I can't talk about that.
Well, you've just told us that
Right,
it was at your hand.
right.
Were there drugs involved?
No,
Was
no.
there a suffocation? Was there,
Uh,
you suffocated them?
What?
You suffocated your parents.
Yeah.
That was,
do I make you stammer? Okay, Deb. You don't have to do anything if you have a wrench. It's just that if you have channels or know people who have channels, you can throw them in the chat. I completely believe you. My cat always knows when I'm talking about her. He smothered him. Really?
I can't talk about that.
well, you've just told us that
Right,
it was at your hand.
right.
Were there drugs involved?
No,
Was
no.
there a suffocation? Was there, you suffocated,
Oh my God.
you suffocated your parents.
Watch this. I haven't seen this yet. Honestly.
I can't talk about that.
Watch
Well,
his,
you've
watch,
just
watch his head.
told us that
Right,
it was at your hand.
right.
Were there drugs involved?
No,
Was
no.
there a suffocation? Was there, you suffocated,
What the fuck? Ah, this guy's nuts. Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
them. You suffocated your parents.
Yeah,
That was the best way to take their lives, through suffocation.
basically.
Which parent did you suffocate first?
My father, and after he died, my mother put her head on his chest, and she was there for a few hours, and then I finished her.
And then what did you do?
Oh my God. This is so weird. On national TV, I gotta cut that. And when I create my monologue for the channel, I gotta put that head nod in. That is just so freaking creepy, man. That's just wow. Oh,
Did you bury them immediately?
No. I didn't know what to do after that. I was thinking what to do. And it took me several days to realize I can't do this, I can't do that. Just bury them on the property, and it was wide open sunlight.
I shouldn't be laughing. This is not funny, but this guy isn't fooling anybody. Oh my Lord.
I remember my sister, she received either a gift of a lamb or a lamb was given to her upon her funeral, but that lamb showed up, and I put it on my mother's grave, and the police must have that now too.
You call it a grave? You bury them in the backyard? You see,
This is fucked up. This is weird. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this because there's a difference. I think there's a difference between hold on a second. Stammer and stutter refer to the same speech disorder, with stammer being the preferred term for the British English speaking countries. And so it's the same thing. There's just stutter used more commonly in American English. Both words describe a speech pattern marked by involuntary repetitions, prolongations. So it's the same thing, just different. So the medical definition is both terms describe a speech disorder characterized by interruptions in a normal flow of speech. But I think, isn't that I got 8 eyes. This guy's nuts. Looney bin. Funky nuts. He waited a few hours before he opted. So awful. This is terrible.
it as a grave?
Well, I bury them, and I put a thing around my mother.
They need to use this guy in police interrogations. This guy Guy's just coming right out and saying it on national TV.
There's grave and with and I planted a peach tree next to her and I put that there.
What did you think as you were doing it, as you were taking their lives? What was
Wait for
going
it.
through your head?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Not thoughts, action. Make sure it's done and not fool around, not make a mistake. But, you know, I'm sure the police are going to say, what an incompetent idiot I am on that. But, you know,
Did they both pass away peacefully? Did they struggle as you did it?
Look,
I would say the last minute, no. But
oh my God.
you know, I think my father died very quickly, like surprisingly quickly. That shocked me. And then, you know, the part with my mother, went quickly too.
Did you realize what you were doing, as righteous as you may have thought it was illegal, and
Oh yeah.
you knew you were breaking the law? You knew you were.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We have to squeeze the law to fit the humans, not us, the humans to fit the law. And we have 40 million boomers. They're all going to suffer.
Yeah, this is I forget how old this is. This is I just think it's interesting that this guy here is trying to convince people that he did this, you know, as a voluntary thing to his parents, but I don't think so.
A horrible death, typically. My mother always if somebody died in their home, she would say, great, the person died with their boots on, instead of going to a hospital and going through
Dying with your boots on, I think, is a idiom, right? It's not really a statement.
a meat processing factory kind of thing. So they were both children of World War II. My mother was born in 42. She was a toddler.
He was literally a red. They were waiting for him. I think they were waiting for him to confess. That's why I said this guy here, this reporter here, should be immediately signed up to the, interrogation squad here.
Told me she would follow funerals.
This is actually the first time I'm seeing the interview, because I'm pretty sure this has been out for a while. Whoops.
Behind the horse and wagon. This is the kind of world she grew up in. My father was at age 12 in a communist concentration camp for 3 years. So they had very serious lives, given, the globe, genocidal British geopolitics, as I call it. And so they were not fooling around on things. They were serious people.
When
It reminds me of the Monty Python thing when Eric Idle's coming around with the dead cart. He said, "Bring out your dead." Bring out your dead. They go, "I'm not dead yet."
you were doing this, did you think about the financial ramifications, the fact that you would
Think I'll go for a walk.
continue to take their government money?
Once that happens, and what do? The government is pissed because I took the Social Security money and gave it to people who are starving in the Philippines. Okay, then, be angry about that. But the police know all the money that I have went to people to help them, thousands of dollars. I gave almost, not all of it away because there was still a lot left. But I gave away.
You're missing the point. The point is that you unalived people. Okay, everything you did after that, whether noble or not.
I didn't play with the money, I gave it away. I didn't enrich myself.
Does that justify what you did?
No, but this is not a kill for money case, is important to say. It's in fact, I was helping people before that just fine. So it didn't,
I think he wanted to be on this channel here because he sent a statement in. Yeah, this guy's crazy. But I think, like I said, he wanted to get onto this show here to kind of clear his mind or something like that.
the issue of taking my parents' money for other purposes related to that doesn't fit. That's why the police, they had a theory going which we talked about on Tuesday, and they wanted to try to say that this was taking their money to give away to other people, but it was that the other part is the primary situation.
Someone called that blood money,
Right, and I was giving it away.
but
Yeah.
it's still blood money.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't matter what you do after, right? Like it's the original crime here is that you unalived your parents, and now they can't tell us whether or not they wanted it. So it's like, no matter what you did with the money afterwards, it doesn't matter.
if you kill to take somebody's money away, that's blood money. But if you what was I supposed to do with this money? Again, I couldn't tell anyone. The government needs to have an office where you can say, this is something that happened and here's how it happens. And they need to deal with these kind of problems in an open way. Everything in this country
Is he real? Is this guy for real? Unbelievable.
is hidden away. And this is a societal crisis. Again, 40 million people are going to deal with this. And maybe, a multiple of that given their friends and family. So, I mean, it's a reality.
So this is what we're going to do as a society. We're just going to look around and say, hey, you're not feeling all that great. You're on you're on the back nine now. So I'm just going to unalive you, take your money and send it to the Philippines. No, we're not going to do that.
Of human experience. And I just wanted to say, in 2020, there was this YouTube channel called Tribe of the Fox, and they did a video called The Mannerbunde. And they explained how in the ancient times, they had men who would do this for the elderly, so they wouldn't have to suffer. And of course, the ancient Greeks always believed in dying on the battlefield rather than dying, in a bag of bones, like a bag of bones. So, I mean,
That was 1400 years ago, bro. Like it's, and life expectancy back then was like 40. Okay.
culturally, America is totally
They didn't die on a battlefield, though. It sounds like they died in their beds with a pillow over their faces.
no, but you could put it that way.
I mean, it wasn't a battlefield.
I gotta play that again. Oh my god, that is too funny.
The Fox, and they did a video called The Mannerbunde. And they explained how in the ancient times, they had men who would do this for the elderly, so they wouldn't have to suffer. And of course, the ancient Greeks always believed in dying on the battlefield.
Oh my god, I gotta say, I'm not gonna be able to breathe. This guy's face.
Rather than dying, in a bag of bones, like a bag of bones. So, I mean, culturally, America is totally.
They didn't die on a battlefield, though. It sounds like they died in their beds with a pillow over their faces.
No, but you could put it that way.
I mean, it wasn't a battlefield.
Well, right. It's not. I mean, the preference of people of the ancient Greeks was to die on the battle.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's just too funny. You can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't.
Field rather than die so infirm that you have nothing.
Was it a pillow that you used?
No.
What did you use to suffocate them?
From my father, my hand. From my mother, a rope.
So you
What?
strangled her?
Yeah, that would seem better.
It was
Oh my
strangulation,
God.
not suffocation?
Well, it's the same. No, denial
my
of
God.
oxygen.
Okay.
but also blood circulation.
So you cut off the oxygen to both of them. That was your method.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that this has come to light and the police started investigating, and do you have any regrets?
I did the right thing for them.
This can't be real. This just can't be real. You just can't. This is like a comedy skit right here, right? Oh my God.
Based on the situation. I did my duty to them as a son. And that's
Hand and a rope. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna buy that. I really don't.
everything fell into place. I don't know how it happened that it all fell into place, but it did. And so no, I don't have. It's a horrible situation to be in. One.
Oh my God, I gotta stop. I shouldn't be laughing. This is the unaliving of two people. But this guy here, it's almost like a comedy skit. You know, it's just almost how can you do this live? I don't get it.
Does one's duty, and one is done. The issue of regrets, I can't say this. It's a
At this point in the interview, if I was this guy here, I'd be a little scared, afraid. Like this guy here, just a hand and a rope.
regrettable experience, a regrettable situation. And of course, life is horrible. It has horrible moments in life.
Unbelievable.
But that's that.
And I just want to make sure I have it correct, because I'm a journalist and facts are important. You used your hand, a single hand, to kill your father,
Right.
putting it over his
No.
nose, and you choked him.
Oh my God. This is just
And you did the same with your mother, but with a rope. You choked her with a rope.
No. Just a rope.
Right, I'm sorry, but I meant you choked her with a rope, though, instead of your hand.
Right.
Okay. Are you on any medications today?
No. Well, no.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Is your mind clear? And
I'm just a little sleepy, but I'm trying to keep my eyes open, but that's okay.
trying to figure out who he reminds me of. He reminds me of somebody. I can't put my finger on it, but he looks like somebody, some actor. That's why I can't believe this is real, because he looks like somebody. I just can't put my finger on it.
okay, but you have no mental disabilities that are affecting what you're saying here today?
Correct.
You're confident in what you said and clear of
Yeah.
mind as
Yeah.
you say all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would appreciate. I hope that you could put this on YouTube, the whole thing.
Oh, it's going on
We'll
YouTube.
put this on. And are you ready
Yeah, this is going on YouTube for sure.
to face the consequences now with the police and the authorities?
Yes, but I would like the American people to also read my statement so that everybody can have something to appeal to on this. I know my statement is I'm not really concerned about the police or the court or anything. There's something much bigger in life, and we have to deal with the big things in life.
Okay. But again, just to be certain, in 2017, you took your father's life.
Correct?
2017.
And then moments later, or a short time later, you took your mother's life on that same day.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. It was late at night, and it was like late evening on one day into early morning next.
So within hours of each
Right.
other. What did you do between the taking of your father's life and the taking?
Oh my God, I can't. I got to stop laughing. This guy here is looks like you didn't have a very good life as a criminal careerist. No. Yeah, he's this guy here. It like I said, it's almost like a skit comedy show here. This is ridiculous.
Of your mother's life.
I'm trying to remember because there was. Yeah, I don't remember.
Did you sit with your mother? Were the three of you together in one
Well,
room?
before they died, my father was here, my mother was here, and I told them what happened to me and my sister after she died. And my sister died in the house too, because when she died from the cancer. But she died in May of 1988, and then in that fall was
You think it's like something that happened when he has lost his sister, and maybe he, snapped at that point? Like it's some sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like some sort of guilt or something. I don't know.
I was doing my 11th grade now then, and there was I had to do a paper in a big test, so I did an overnighter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's hold on, Lawrence Krauss, the son of Franz and Teresa Krauss. And I don't know the sister's name. I forget the sister's name. I can figure that out at some point. Oh, they got him in jail. His jail interview here.
To do that test and then try to do a second overnighter to finish that paper or something. And
Yeah, like remorse for a sister died. I know people sometimes, because in 1988 he must have been a lot younger, right? I don't know how old he is now. But this guy obviously has flipped a lid here.
crawled into bed at like 2:45 in the morning. And sometime then after, I popped out of my body. And I started floating up to the ceiling. I saw the nooks and crannies, and I acknowledged that the nooks and crannies of the ceiling, and then the whole world disappeared. And I was in this big black void, and it was rushing by, and then I saw my sister in a doorway in profile.
Yeah, I think something might have happened to this guy when his sister. I mean, I'm not a professional for anything, but seems like he might have had some sort of a life experience after witnessing his sister go through what she went through, and maybe he just never recovered from that.
Anyhow, after that, it was like a near-death experience kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told my parents about that experience, and I told them, it's time, go find Rosa. My sister's name was Rosa, and so
So his sister's name was Rosa. So now I don't have to look that up. But I agree with Deb here. I think it could be some sort of a after effect of that.
my father just died so quickly.
And maybe subliminally or maybe subconsciously or consciously he blamed his parents for it. I don't know.
I told him find Rosa, and that's that.
And then again, just take me through after your mother died, how long was it before you buried them? Approximately.
I don't want to know.
2 or 3 days, actually.
Oh my God.
So your parents' deceased bodies were in your house with you for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
And then you decided you had to do something to cover up your crimes or to properly bury them and send them on their way.
Right. I mean, I needed to.
You let them rot for 2 to 3 days in the house before burying them. Unreal. That seems to me like he had something, whether subliminally or post-traumatic or psychotica, that he had to enact revenge on his parents for that. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but sounds to me pretty close. And he waited 2 to 3 days to bury him. So he waited almost a whole weekend. Bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I had to bury them.
Was the burial to cover up your crime?
Um,
You didn't want to be found out.
right, of course. I mean, what to do? So again,
He just agreed to that. The guy just point blank asked him, "Did you do that to cover up your crime?" And he said, "Yes." Basically, he said, "Yes."
the thing to do just occurred to me. Oh, she can fit here and he can fit there, and then just do it. And it was done, and that's that.
Have you lived with fear of being found out all these years?
Um, I struggle to do other things with my life to try to make something great out of it. Because if that's what I know, that they would not want me to rot away to death in prison over this. And I have a duty to everyone to make the best out of my life, and in the end, do what's best for the people of Germany, really. I call it being a Vogue saver. It took me years to understand all this, but I learned a lot in last.
Is that who I'm thinking about? Is Richard Dreyfuss? Maybe. He does like a little like somebody like that though. He reminds me of somebody, famous actor. Is it Richard Dreyfuss? Richard Dreyfuss is dead, right?
Last eight years that I never knew before, and I learned, self-educated in so many ways. So I did not. The issue of being caught is.
Yeah. So thanks to Grandma Sherry. So he was 16. So that would make a little bit of sense if he had some sort of I don't know, animosity, or I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're that young and something that traumatic happens to you, maybe it is PTSD, something like that anyways.
I was able to buy time to solve huge problems. And that's work. That's
Richard Dreyfuss is still alive? I thought he died.
worth it in many ways. To the American people, to me, and to them, to their legacy, to their,
Do you think people are going to accept this rationale
they probably won't.
and feel for you?
What they need to feel is for their own parents. They're going to face the same problems, and they're going to have to find solutions ahead of time, or else they're going to end up like me. That's the reality.
Are you telling
Yeah, I'm not going to be killing my parents, regardless. Even if they ask me, no.
other people that when their parents start ailing, they should take their lives?
They have a duty to their parents to bring them comfort at the end of life when they believe they need to.
But again, just to be clear, you took both your parents' lives.
Yes.
Not with a pillow, with a hand. He literally choked his father, strangled his father, and the same thing with his mother, and then left him in the house for 2 to 3 days and ended up, it's just, you just can't make it up. You can't make this stuff up.
And you realize that you're probably going to face the criminal consequences.
Oh, of course.
I mean, you're probably going to be arrested and
Well,
charged. And
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna. It's a process. You have to go through the process. How it will come out at the end, I don't know. But to influence that process, I would beg the American people.
Like even if you scripted this up on Saturday Night Live or something like that, it wouldn't be as good as this right here. Like this is classic, like a Saturday Night Live skit where, but it still wouldn't be as good as this one because this guy here, just
People to read that statement.
all right, Lawrence, thank you for being with us.
I appreciate it
Okay.
very much. Thank you.
Good, guys? You good, Stone?
who is the guy that played in with Richard Pryor? That's who it reminds me of. It reminds me of See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and still what the hell is his name? He played in Young Frankenstein, and what the hell was his name? Oh, now I can't remember his name. Gene Siskel? No, Gene
I think we covered all the bases. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say?
Gene Wilder. That's it.
Why did you write that manifesto?
What?
I'm calling it a manifesto. What would you call it?
Yeah, that's it. I was going to just say Gene Wilder. Yeah, Gene Wilder. It looks just like him.
A statement to the American people. Is that what I wrote? That's what you wrote down?
I wrote statement to the public because you said that.
Yeah,
You said that to me.
Right. Yeah. A statement to the public. What was the other?
I mean, that's the thing. He does seem like he's very, very intelligent, like naturally intelligent, but there's just something going on up here.
What should we call it?
Manifesto,
Not a manifesto.
just a statement to the public. It is a bit rambling, a bit hard to follow.
Right. I need, that's why I say I need more conversations over this.
But do you think people are going to want to talk about this or the fact that you took your
Absolutely.
parents' lives?
Right. They're going to talk about that. That's what they want to know. It's just reality. So, I mean, they'll, it's a horrible situation to be in. Everybody, many other people are going to face it.
This guy here thinks that he did what he was supposed to do. That's how bad it is, right? This guy thinks that he was supposed to do this.
But are other people going to take the same actions you took?
Probably not, because they don't have the same kind of sense of duty to their parents as I did. Duty is I owe it to you to do it, as opposed to right and wrong, the law, etc. These are different ways of being. And of course, the law in this country does not allow for this way of being.
But are you truly confident that's what your parents wanted?
I know my parents are harsh in certain situations. And if my mother could see where she was going, she would want that.
But you said they didn't expressly ask to be killed.
Right.
Are you sure you did what they wanted to be done?
I think that they would have increasingly wanted me, would have wanted.
Oh my God, really? Yeah, this guy's not right. This guy is
Wanted me to help them if their situation got any worse.
So that day in what you think was August of 2017, what made that day the day?
I think it was a colder evening and the windows were closed. So it was not a, it was just no noise or something like that.
So you were safe from detection? Is that what
Right,
you're
of
saying?
course. Because it was a summer, right? It's usually hot and windows are open, but it was kind of cold that period.
So because it was a
this could be one of the craziest interviews I've ever seen in my entire life. This could be I still think it's comedy, skittish kind of stuff, but it's just, this guy's loony bins here.
little chillier that night, you decided to take your parents' lives.
That note she gave me was sometime in May or June, I think. When she said she fell, it was May or June or something like that. So this has been, my father already told me he has double vision. He had a hearing aid. He couldn't hear anymore. His eyes were going. He couldn't drive. My mother, I knew, was not using her turn signals properly. So they were losing their independence and even awareness of the world because of, breakdown.
Most people, I safe in saying, would not take their parents' life because they couldn't use their turn signals properly.
I can't do it anymore. I can't. My stomach hurts from laughing. This is too fucking funny.
That's a very good point. But again, it's not just that. It's one marker of decline, and
I'm sorry, guys. Oh, that's it, Mom. You're a Connor. You can't be here anymore. I'm I'm tired of you not using your directions.
again, she had a brother and a sister who were going through Alzheimer's. By then, one died, and her brother was going to die, and maybe 2 years later, and he was in a terrible situation. So, the other.
All right, I can't laugh anymore. My stomach is hurting. It's
aunt of mine
oh my God.
was, I think, even in an even worse situation because of Alzheimer's.
This is supposed to be a true crime channel, and I'm having stomach issues because I'm laughing so hard. This guy.
But I never visited her because I mean, women tend to want to be remembered for their beauty when they're young. So partly I didn't visit her for that reason, but I also never knew enough to visit where she was or anything like that.
But again, you feel like it was your role to, I mean, some might,
Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. It's fucking funny. It's horrible. It's horrible. But it's just the way he said the turn signal thing. I lost it.
call it playing God, deciding on their lives. It was fair for you to do that?
If the decision is going to be made, it's going to be a plain God decision. And truly, we lived through this COVID thing. Cuomo is, there's probable cause to arrest Andrew Cuomo for thousands of deaths because it's on the record that he sent people into nursing homes for a certain reason. And there was a report.
I'm calling my mom tomorrow to make sure that she's using her directionals properly because, I mean, that's a no-no now. Ma.
What's that people died as a consequence. That's probable cause. But
Andrew Cuomo did not put his hand around
Right.
someone's neck. Andrew Cuomo did not put a rope around
Right,
someone's
right.
neck.
that he would be culpable of criminally negligent.
These guys in the chat are just making it worse. I told you, Mom, one more time. I gotta stop.
Homicide. I think that's
So what are you guilty of? Are you guilty of murder?
No.
you could say age-related homicide or something like that, but it's not in the law. But it should be, somehow it should be. And maybe it will be. And maybe if it's accepted at some point, because there's 40 million people, they'll want it to be accepted. This will blow
I seriously can't stop. I gotta stop laughing because it's just fucking funny.
over. And I'm willing to make restitution to the family. That's why I mentioned that other type of legal system. And
Lawrence, this is not going to blow over.
I know.
You killed your parents.
There is
This guy here is just, I gotta stop laughing.
that situation, but to me, it's not very important. It's politics is subject to change. Everything is negotiable. Donald Trump has proven that everything is negotiable in this country. And if you have a good idea and you can help people, you can get a better outcome.
Did you ever kill anyone else?
No way, no way, no way.
Did you ever commit physical harm to anyone else?
No.
This was it. Just
Right.
your mother and your father.
Yep.
Strangely, I think that he blamed his parents subconsciously or subliminally for his sister dying or something like that. So I think he had some sort of I mean, I truly can't laugh anymore. I just can't do it.
No one else in your family ever
I haven't laughed this hard since Anchorman 2. Like, this is just, I just got to stop laughing.
suffered at your hand?
No, no, no.
And it's sad because there's two people that are dead. I mean, it's just.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Lawrence.
Lawrence, can I ask you a question? One of the neighbors told us on the scene that your parents were under the impression that you were going to take them on a trip. Did you tell them that you were going to take them on a trip before you killed them?
No, but I asked my mother if she wanted to go with me for a ride to.
I can't do it, man. I just can't do it.
Grafton Park. We'd like to go there.
I think they told people that they were possibly moving to Germany.
That's what I said.
You said that?
Yeah.
You said that to people, not your parents.
Right.
So that was your,
People
that was your,
ask me, where are my parents? I tell them, because my mother's from Germany, and my father was born in Yugoslavia.
Oh, my God.
And then after they could escape communism, they went to Germany. And then my father came to this country. And then my mother in the 50s.
but there were neighbors who said that they had been told by your parents, oh, we think we're going to move to Germany. Are they mistaken? Are the neighbors remembering that incorrectly, or?
Yeah, if you have children, the best thing to do right now is to make sure that each directional light, left and right, work. I would even check your hazards because there could be people like this running around.
Could your parents have said that?
They could have said that,
Could they have known something was coming?
possibly.
You ever give them the impression that maybe you would just move them somewhere?
Right by the rope.
No,
No, okay.
that's news to me, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Lawrence.
I appreciate
All
it.
right, good. That's over. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be laughing because people died, but this guy here, this whole interview, wow. Yeah, this guy deserves to be in prison and never let out. The neighbors described him as disturbing. Yeah. You think? Oh my God. All right, I gotta stop laughing because this next one coming up is not funny at all, but that was okay, I gotta stop laughing. All right, so that's the end of that. Let me share this one here. Oh, all right. Let's get a hold of things here. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit disturbing too here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's another one of these horrible cases here. 4-year-old wasted away to 21 pounds in parents' horror house. This came out 11 hours ago, but I don't know. Southern Carolina Highway Patrol trooper and his wife have been charged with the unaliving by CA after their 4-year-old son Isaiah was found unalived in their home, severely malnourished and weighing just 21 pounds. Unbelievable. Authorities say the couple, Joshua Latimer and Destiny Dion, showed extreme indifference to life by failing to seek medical care and also put their younger child at risk. The Latimore's been fired from the Highway Patrol, and both now face possible life sentences if convicted. So here we go.
Allegedly losing his life at the hands of his own parents, and his dad was a Highway Patrol state trooper.
And again, I apologize for laughing through that whole thing because that was just that was bad. But he's in prison now, so everybody's safe that doesn't use their directional lights. Okay.
Trooper. This is a story that breaks your heart and makes you wonder just how something like this could happen. The shocking details in court documents that
I mean, I come from Massachusetts, and if you use your directional lights in Massachusetts, it's actually a sign of weakness. So,
show us the evidence that has led authorities to say this is a homicide. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Bitch, how many times have I told you to use your directional lights? Fucking so funny. God. I gotta stop laughing. I just have to.
Child abuse cases will never make sense, even though we see so many of them. And each one, no matter the
Again, this case is probably going to be triggering. So just putting that out there.
circumstances, they're not only sad, they're incredibly shocking. But this one has a different dynamic to it because the dad in this case, now accused in the murder of his son, was a member of law enforcement. These are the mugshots for 30-year-old Joshua Latimer.
Yeah, if you use your directional lights in Massachusetts, people look at you kind of funny. I gotta stop. So these two here,
and Destiny Dion. The two of them live in Oconee County, South Carolina. It's a rural part of that state near the Georgia line. Latimer and Dion were married in 2024, and we found their wedding website. It's still public, that has pictures of this couple getting ready for their big day. We also see pictures of Latimer with this little boy. His name is Isaiah. He was just 4 years old. Latimer is believed to have been his stepdad. I'll sadly talk a little bit more about Isaiah in just a moment. But let's talk about Latimer. His stepdad, he was a member of law enforcement, a member of the South Carolina Highway Patrol. And like so many of these cases, on the surface, it appears that the suspects are good people. Let's talk about what's alleged against them. According to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, also known as SLED, on Friday, September 19th, it was around 6:20 in the morning. EMTs responded to the home.
Look at how cute this kid is. On to Telly Dave won't be able to chat. Okay, buddy. Hope you're okay, buddy. John Paul Hansen. Why do I keep calling you John Paul Jones? Great bassist for Led Zeppelin, though. John Paul Hansen's got a great channel.
Home of Latimer and Dion. According to Fox Carolina Television, the call was for a
Look at this kid. Unbelievable.
patient with cardiac arrest. That patient, 4-year-old Isaiah. It was not long after EMTs arrived that the coroner was called, and this became a criminal investigation. Now,
There's another baby right there.
Isaiah's parents claim they found him unresponsive, but they allegedly had a very good idea of what was wrong with their son who had died. We have the arrest warrants for Latimer and Dion in this case, and I will
Aged by child abuse in that 4-year-old while in care and custody of Destiny Dion. This is awful.
warn you, the details are just so difficult to hear. They are so difficult to stomach because they
21 pounds. His eyes sunken into his head, and he weighed 21 pounds. Unbelievable.
say at the time of death, Isaiah was underweight and malnourished. Law enforcement says that his ribs and other bony prominences were visible. His eyes were sunken into his head. According to police, Isaiah weighed just about 21 pounds. For reference, kids his age should be between 30 or 40 pounds at 4 years old. The warrant goes on to say that Latimer and Dion showed, quote, an extreme indifference to life. The two allegedly did not seek medical care for young Isaiah. Latimer and Dion.
I think this case is another one of those raising your children in a specific type of religious group or something like that. They didn't do certain things because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that.
Were arrested, and they're now facing charges of homicide by child abuse for the death of their son. And they're also facing 2 counts of unlawful conduct toward a child. There was also a 2-year-old boy living in that home, and law enforcement says this couple is accused of putting him in unreasonable risk.
This does seem to be happening more, though. I know there was the case. Remember the case we covered? I think it was a couple years ago now. I think it was in Ohio. Was it in Ohio where, matter of fact, I need to look into that case again to see what happened with the mother, the grandmother.
Risk of harm. Latimer had been a trooper with the South Carolina Highway Patrol since 2017, so he had served for a solid amount of time. He had the rank of Lance Corporal, but in the wake of his arrest, he was terminated.
Yeah, this is a terrible case. This is I saw this the other day and I just had to play it.
Terminated from his position. Now, originally, the couple only faced unlawfully placing the child at risk or cause of harm charges, but 2 days after those charges were brought against them on September 25th, they were charged with murdering Isaiah. A conviction on that charge alone could put them in prison for 20 years to life. Now, as for Isaiah, the obviously most important person in this story, it's important to remember who.
Okay, thanks, John Paul. John Paul's awesome. I try to give him bumps as much as I possibly can. Great musician, great artist. He's got some really good stuff. He's done songs for me. He's done songs for Dee Dee. He's just an excellent writer.
Who he was and the joy he brought people during the short life that he had. His obituary says that he was the most beautiful baby boy and had a smile that would light up a room and a laugh that would warm your heart.
This stuff makes you angry. This stuff right here just gets you right to the core, man. This stuff. After that first nutcase we listened to, this is like, crazy. This is bad.
Joining us now from South Carolina to talk about this is Dr. Nada Rutherford, the coroner for Richland County, which is a different county than where this case is playing out. And it's never easy to talk about these cases involving children, doctor, but going through the arrest warrant, and I just think of the state that this young boy was in apparently when he was found by the coroner there. Just what stands out to you about his condition when he died?
So the fact that he was described as a kid who was severely malnourished, in order for you to be able to look at a child and those are the words that come.
Again, you have all of these things happening. Where's the DCYF? Where's and I know it's like kicking the can down the road, right? Blaming other people, but that's what they're there for. They're there for obviously this kid had to have gone to school for, 4-year probably not, but maybe daycare or something. Nobody noticed anything, right? Like it's just crazy how nobody said anything and nobody helped.
Out of your mouth. This kid had to be extremely what we would call cachectic, sunken in eyes, just not looking like a very healthy, well-nourished child. That's one of the things that you look at post-mortem when you do an assessment of a body. You say, does this person does their general appearance seem to be healthy, well-nourished? That's one of the first things you write in the autopsy report. And so to know that just even with the charges that were filed, that this was the first thing that stood out is very shocking to me. But there are some things that they can do post-mortem to.
So this is just AI overview here. So a typical healthy weight for a 4-year-old boy falls within the range of like 30 to 44 pounds. But that's that could fluctuate, but I guess that's a pretty good. So he weighed 21 pounds.
Back up what that general appearance looked like of that young child.
Yeah, because clearly, I mean, from the outside, I mean, the sunken eyes part, when you hear that, I think of, frankly, areas of the world where there's famine, and that's often what you see. And then,
honestly, these are the cases that really make me angry. The kids just, leave freaking kids alone. They don't deserve this. It's,
we're talking about a case here in the United States and inside the home where someone was a member of law enforcement just makes it really difficult to stomach. How do you go about finding, because clearly, malnourishment from what you can see on the outside, but what do you look for on the inside to try and figure out the story?
Well, this becomes
I'd literally starve myself before I, let my kids go hungry. That's for sure.
very detail oriented in terms of the science. So the coroner there, the medical examiner, the forensic pathologist, all of the people who are involved, they are going to take the information that's taken at autopsy, those samples, and they're going to send them off for certain types of testing. And I don't want to get too scientific here. I want our listeners to understand what I'm saying. And so you can have different types of dehydration. You can have what's called hypernatremic.
Sherry, thank you so much for coming in. It's always good to have you here. I hope you have a great night and a great week. It's always great to have Grandma Sherry here. Stay safe, for sure. It's always good to have you here. Before the phone dies, here's my Discord. Get free music downloads. Okay, thanks, buddy. Have a great week, Grandma Sherry.
Dehydration, where the sodium levels in the sample, like in the vitreous or even in the blood, are seen as being really, really high. And we know that in order to have
I'm just glad people are here, to be honest with you.
like a hydrated state in the body, that you don't want super high levels of sodium. So if someone is dehydrated and they have high levels of sodium, you start to see swelling in the brain. You start to see the level of consciousness change. They have altered mental status. And so there were signs of dehydration with this child prior to him dying that they could have sought care for him. Okay. So what the coroner is going to have to do, along with law enforcement and all of those samples that they take, they're going to have to show, was this hypernatremic dehydration or was this hyponatremic? We are pretty much guaranteed that this won't be hyponatremic, because that's where you have too much volume in the blood and it's watering everything down. You see that when you have like frat boys who do like a water drinking, chugging kind of contest, and you can actually die from water intoxication. So for hypernatremic, we're going to see high levels of
Look at this. Shibby's here because I tripped him a wrench. Guilt tripped him a wrench. You're here for the hockey content, bro.
sodium, but we're also going to see elevated level at what we call the urea
Have
level.
a good night, Deb. Thank you so much for coming in. Deb's amazing too. Have a great week. Stay safe. We'll see you around at some point. Good to see Deb in here for sure.
So you look at something called BUN, again, not trying to be too scientific here, but that urea level being elevated in the presence of elevated chloride and elevated sodium, those are going to be things that give us that dehydration pattern. And that's one test that, while it may not be
I do know that it's going to be hard to just visually see somebody that's malnourished or not, because a lot of times, you know, people look malnourished, but they're really not. You know, it's just their metabolism stuff and all of that. So, but I think in this case here, they definitely missed the ball. This kid here was literally wasting away. It was
extremely diagnostic. When you are looking at this body and you take all of the circumstantial things that go with finding the body in that state, those are going to be things that support a cause of death of dehydration or neglect or whatever it is. It may not be the final thing.
Can I have her as my coroner, you think? Is it possible?
That killed that child, but in autopsy, they're going to look into the skull. They're going to remove the brain. They're going to weigh it. They are going to look to see if there is cerebral edema or swelling in the brain. And they're going to look at the
How cute this kid is. It's just unbelievable.
other samples to see if it complements what they think happened to the child.
And there are pictures of him, the boy, Isaiah, within the last, say, year or so, it seems, because his parents, there was a wedding website, they got married in 2024, and then there are pictures from around, it seems, that time, and he seems, at least on the outside, in better health, we'll say, than what than what's being described in the arrest warrant. I mean, how long would someone have to be going through kind of the phase of malnourishment to get to the point where you have the sunken eyes and all the different details that we read in that arrest warrant?
So most of us have learned that, 3 days without food and water, you're starting to get to that point where you may have hallucinations, your altered mental status, you're not doing okay, but take food out of it. And just do a no water, no hydration kind of thing to a kid. Between 3 and 7 days, you could die from that, because again, your body needs that balance of sodium, chloride, urea, all those things that help your kidneys function properly, your liver to function properly, but also that sodium level really helps your brain to function properly. And so when you start dehydrating someone, this is why they tell you, if you're out in the sun, drink water, drink electrolytes, so that you can keep those things in balance. So within 3 to 7 days, this child could have died. So it didn't have to be something that was prolonged. Dehydration is going to show up in a few days, and you'll eventually start to look sunken in. Your body is going to try to pull water from wherever it can, which is why you start to see the loss of skin turgor instead of
I don't know what she's talking about. For me to function properly, I need coffee. Water's not going to do much. Donuts. Days with COVID, it was horrible. Yeah, definitely coffee. I need coffee. I watched a thing the other day on YouTube. They have I don't know if you guys have seen these. They're like timelines of the greatest things, the things you can't live without, stuff like that. But you can live on potatoes for like 50 years.
Of the skin being nice and bouncy, somebody could have been able to pick up that child's skin and it would literally still tint because it doesn't have the fluid to stay bouncy. So there were signs that this was happening unless they kept him, obviously closed in, which they perfectly could have.
This is how French I am, right? Like there's nothing better than a croissant, right? Like bread, subs and stuff like that. It ain't anything without a croissant. And I love French crawlers, and they don't have French crawlers anymore. So
Have, right? Because he was not of the age where it was mandated that he go to school. That doesn't start until you're in kindergarten. You know what I mean? So like they didn't have to do this for a long period of time, but I suspect that this is something that was ongoing and maybe
if I wake up and I don't have coffee, it's not going to be a good day. You can put a gallon of water in front of me. It's just not going to work. In order for me to function properly or even function at all, there's going to have to be coffee. Without coffee, it's just not going to happen. So water, no thanks.
maybe they kind of toyed with these things along the way and this time it went too far.
Well, because I also think, and this might get, I think talking about the science is so important, kind of taking us into what an autopsy actually is, because we often hear about the results, but not what it takes to actually get that part done. How do you figure out whether this was a case of 7 days of, prolonged malnourishment, allegedly, based on what we...
Yeah, the French crawlers, they're, I don't even think Dunkin' Donuts carries them anymore. They might. They make the donut. Right, you can get the donut, but it's not a French crawler. It's I went to a donut place. I asked for a French crawler. It looked like I had 3 heads. They had no idea what it was. Milk with small ice cubes. Yes, monster truck tire, but it's not a donut. It's a crawler. It's almost like a jelly stick style. Milk with small ice cubes. I can't drink milk anymore. I never could drink milk. I drank way too much alcohol for that.
We heard, or if this was something that was going on for a longer period of time, like what would you see that could, as I'm sure prosecutors want to know exactly if this is, everything's true that we've read to this point, piecing together what happened to this child and how long any sort of potential abuse or neglect was taking place. Like, how are you able to see that?
So that's good. I think Southern Gal is going to go live tomorrow night, Monday night, for her missing Monday night missing. So that's good. I'll have to set my phone to that.
So they will also take a look at the muscles. I suspect that the forensic pathologist will probably take a sample of the muscles of this child to see if there was any breakdown of that muscular tissue, to see if the body had literally started to feed on itself. But again, that vitreous, the fluid that we take from the eye, sending that off to the lab to look at those different electrolyte levels is going to be so important in this case. Any blood that was able to be obtained from the child, because here's the other part. Just because the child is there doesn't mean
Jenny's a milkaholic. That's okay. Whoops. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, sharing missing persons from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay. I have to set my phone to that because I'll forget, unfortunately. What am I doing?
that we're able to get these super large samples. So taking samples from the kidneys, from the liver, from the brain, these are all going to be things that give.
Yeah, I love my subs. I'm very happy to where I am. Like I said, when I started this true crime thing, I would have been happy with 10, to be honest with you. But I appreciate all the support.
Give us answers about the question of dehydration.
It's not about subs to me. It's about honestly, getting the word out. Making sure some of these cases get the coverage that they need, to be honest with you.
And possibly how long it was happening. Now, will it tell us if this was 2 or 3 months? No, it won't. But what we know about the human body is that it cannot survive more than 7 days without some sort of water or hydration. And so, again, during this possible 7 days that this child endured, this dehydration or abuse or malnourishment, it doesn't take long for a child's body to start feeding on itself, and those fat stores start to be used up as energy. And that's why they have that sunken in, cachectic, famished kind of look, because their bodies are literally trying to feed on themselves. It's very sad to think about this state that this young boy had to live in to get to this point of death.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, none of these child abuse stories are ever easy to talk about, but it's just it's not, every case where we get an arrest warrant that will detail the specifics of how law enforcement knew in their mind that abuse was what they were dealing with. He was 21 pounds, this 4-year-old boy.
You still have to take a big dose of vitamin D daily? Don't you get vitamin D from the sun too?
And just from,
or is that vitamin C? One of them.
Typically between, I think, like 30 and 40 pounds is where you want a child of that age to be. And to only be 21 pounds. Which
years and years and years and years ago, almost seems like thousands of years ago, I was actually a Shaklee salesperson. I used to try to sell Shaklee vitamins. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but just figured I'd say that.
Which is, roughly 9 or 10 pounds less. I mean, just from a scientific standpoint,
Hey, Charlie Manson's here. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Oregon doesn't have sun? Really? Why? It's Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson's here. Hey, buddy, what's going on, man? Yeah, but it helps with my depression too, so it's a win-win. Vitamin D? That's good to know.
Is how light is that for someone of that age, and what does that do to the body, knowing that there are, potentially just the muscle and fat the body needs to be able to create weight and survive.
Right. When you think about, you have 2 10-pound dumbbells. This child weighed about the amount of 2 10-pound dumbbells. Like, to give people a visual of what that is, if you pick those up and you have this kid who's 4 years old, who should be solid and growing and hydrated and nourished, and he isn't.
Peggy's here. Is Peggy here? Hey, Peggy, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for sharing that missing person that I posted the other day. Thank you so much. Peggy O is amazing. Big Fish Small Pond is here too. Good to see Big Fish. Every time I try to catch one of Peggy O's lives, I always for some reason get there at the very end. But I do watch the replays. So Peggy O is amazing. She's got a great channel, awesome content.
So 2 10-pound dumbbells were almost as big as this kid.
Just going over this malnourished kid case here up in down in South Carolina, actually.
Like, the visual of that for me is just heartbreaking.
It really is. And I know that the parents are now facing, in relation to the death of Isaiah, it's a murder charge.
Mm-hmm.
Just in South Carolina, how does that work? Because I know in some states you see a neglect charge. In other states, it's a child abuse charge. But then here in South Carolina, it's murder, and they could go to jail for 20 years to life.
So I never try to speak on like what the legal charges would be because I'm not an attorney. I
Sure.
will tell you that as the coroner ruling this case, something like this as a homicide based on the information that we gather through the science and the investigation is more than likely going.
It's always good to be here and have other great content creators in here, right? Like we have Peggy O's in here, we got Necessarily Evil in here, we got Southern Gal, Paula's in here somewhere, Mustang's in here, so it's always good to see that. They were lurking, they just saw me post and was like, okay, good to see you guys for sure.
To happen. So I would suspect that the Oconee County coroner is going to put this down as a homicide. And then in the legal province, they're going to have to figure out what charges they can give to these parents. Was it neglect? And now usually your forensic pathologist is going to take the information from the investigation. So they're going to sit down and speak with the coroner and say, okay, what else did you all find? Remember, Chris, every state is supposed to do a child fatality review. So you're going to have the solicitors there. You're going to have DSS there. You're going to have law enforcement and the coroner's office and the forensic pathologist. Everybody is going to come to that one location and say, what happened here? What signs may have been missed? Did the system fail this child? Was this a DSS?
Yeah, where is Dirty Diana? Hope she's okay. I haven't seen her for a while.
Case. Had anyone ever known about this? This is why shows like this are so important, because while you may not think that you live in a neighborhood or know people who could potentially do something like this, hearing this information will hopefully send red flags to the people who are suspecting that something is going on, or hey, that child certainly looks like they're losing weight. You know, we saw him at the playground 3 weeks ago and he didn't look like that. Hopefully this
My wife works in the school system, so she sees it all the time. There's Dirty Diana right there. Good to see you. Oh, you've been listening, lurking. Don't like to chat till I'm at my computer, but I've been listening. Okay, thank you. It's good to see you. I keep looking for your lives every Friday morning, Saturday morning, but I don't think you had one this morning. Good to see you, though, for sure.
forces people to say something if they see something. But with a case like this, that child fatality review is going to be really important, but they're not escaping homicide. And if it was intentional, which again, I don't know how you don't feed a 4-year-old, those parents are going to have to, I guess, their defense.
You get freaking 3 meals a day, right? It's like crazy. This kid was 21 pounds.
Is going to have to try to say something about why they weren't feeding this child. If he didn't have any medical issues that prevented him from eating or drinking, if he didn't have any cognitive delays that prevented him from eating or drinking, how else do you explain the state that his body was found in? And that's going to be for the
reading through the arrest warrant and what SLED put out, and saying that, you know, the EMTs arrived. This is an unresponsive infant or toddler, and then the coroner's called 20 minutes later. Just for you in that line of work, what is that drive over to that house like, knowing that you might be walking into something that is a potential crime scene?
I wouldn't be able to do it. Not with kids, man. That's why I could have never been a cop. You hear the horror stories, man. Like, geez, I wouldn't be able to do that.
And you're going to have to deal with something as horrific as this.
Number one, Chris, all the cases are treated like homicides. So when you get that call as the coroner, you are
the alien slug fish invasion. No, I have not.
already know you could be walking
I've been watching way too much football, man. It seems like all I do, and the Major League Baseball playoffs are going on. So,
to something that is not okay, that most people on their everyday, life journey in their career could never handle seeing. I just dealt with a child fatality, and I'll tell you, even people who have been doing this work for 20 something years had to take a day. They had to,
It's just such a sad thing. This kid is just so freaking.
life journey in their career, could never handle seeing. I just dealt with a child fatality, and I'll tell you, even
Look at this kid. Like, what did he do? Like this other kid over there in what was it? California. It was just recent. They arrested the parents. When it comes to kids, man, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
people who have been doing this work for 20 something years had to take a day. They had to, what we just take a knee, where you really have to separate yourself. So when you get those calls, no one wants to think that it's abuse. We don't want to believe that parents can be so cruel to children, but the reality is that it happens. And so what fuels me and what allows me to see that and to process it is, I want to be able to tell that child's story. What happened to me? So that the world will know what is the truth behind my death. And that's the passion that I take into each case. I want to know what happened so that we can educate our community, so that we can help law enforcement, DSS workers, teachers, parents.
There's another little one here too. I wonder if they removed this one here from the house. Look at this kid. Look at this little guy.
Our community see what signs of abuse there may have been, so that maybe next time the child doesn't die. Maybe somebody calls it in. Maybe
And he's a cop. The father's a cop.
someone says something. So I just always want to know why, and can we get information that may empower our community to prevent a death moving forward.
Yeah, it's so well put, because I think in a case like this, and we've seen, in child abuse cases, a parent may have something like an excuse, and they're certainly entitled to their defense and to be heard by a jury and all of that. But the science and the story you're able to tell through what you find through an autopsy is so important.
What is WM3? Alien slugfish that can walk on land. Dub dun dun. Da da dum dum dum. The hell am I doing?
Are coroners, this is just a general question as well, say it was a natural death of an elderly person, they pass away in their sleep, and then you get the phone call, are coroners typically only called out if it's suspected to be foul play?
No,
West
if you
Memphis
die
3.
and it's an unwitnessed death.
Okay, sorry. West Memphis 3. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. Everyone knows cue ball.
Death, you die in a home.
I know that Southern Girl's got a lot on the West Memphis 3 case.
There are certain rules that we follow, certain guidelines that we have. So if someone, like let's say EMS goes out and someone has blood coming from their mouth, they still have to call the coroner's office, because that's the protocol. But we may end up ruling it as a natural death based on their history or whatever the circumstances are. So it's not that every case ends up being a homicide that the coroner's office is called on. Our office last year handled over 4,000 deaths. Not all of those cases were homicide cases, but at least half of them were suspicious cases. So that's about 2,500 cases that are suspicious for homicide that we were able to then rule out, and say, okay, this is not what that is. So while people think that the coroner is called every single time, that's not true, but we do handle quite a bit of cases.
Right. So that's the end of that. I'll keep an eye on that. Just wanted to share that because it's just a truly horrific case here. I'll try to update as much as I can on this here. This was done 12 hours ago, but I think this has been going on for a little while. All right, so let's get out of this. I want to go to the missing here. This is the hold on a second here. So we've done a couple of episodes or lives on this girl here. This is the Stephanie Damron case. So let me hold on a second here. stop sharing this here. Hold on a second here. Miss JC Ann's in here. Hey, JC Ann, good to see you. They're all okay, but false information. Hold on a second here. I'm going to plan to go up here. But this is far for me. This is a good day and a half trip here, but I'm going to go. I got a couple of days coming up here that I have off in October here. So I'm going to try to plan to go up here and find out what's going on here in New Sweden, Maine. New Sweden, Maine is way up. That's basically you can throw a rock and hit Canada. That's where that is. But anyways, we've done at least 2 lives on this. So Stephanie Damron is a missing person from New Sweden, Maine, who disappeared last year around this time. I can't believe it's been that long ago. After walking in, this is a strange part, after walking into the woods near her home. So she basically, apparently got into an argument with her sibling, and then she just walked out of the house and she's never been seen again. So the case garnered significant media attention with the Maine State Police, and the FBI now are actively investigating and offering a substantial reward for the information leading to her safe return. Her family's reclusive lifestyle has generated public interest and some suspicion. So this is I'll pull up a map here pretty soon here, but she's 14 years old, physical description, 5 feet tall, 130 pounds, green eyes and shoulder length brown hair. She was last seen wearing a blue long sleeve shirt and a black Harley Davidson hiking boots. And now there's a $15,000 reward. So we'll get to this here. Hold on 1 second here. I have a couple of questions actually. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness, don't get eaten by grizzlies. I'll try not to. All right. What am I doing? All right. Sorry. Up in Maine, you get more chance of running into a Canadian than you do a grizzly. What am I doing here? Share screen. Okay, here we go.
And this is Missing. Thank you for joining us each week.
So this is actually an update. So this was done a day ago. This week in the Missing looks into the case of Stephanie Damron, a young teen who mysteriously, we already did that. So here we go.
Week we cover a missing person case that isn't getting much attention. Every missing person matters, no matter their race, background, or circumstances. And by highlighting these cases and sharing the stories, we believe every case is solvable. And together we can bring answers to family and friends of the missing. This week's featured case, Stephanie Damron, a teen from northern Maine whose family lives off the grid. After an argument with an older sibling, Stephanie stormed off, and everyone thought she would come back. But now, a year later, the 13-year-old is still missing.
Chris and I moved out here because we wanted peace and quiet. But then Stephanie came up missing, and it's like, ever since then, everybody's on edge.
And her disappearance has divided the community. Coming up, Stephanie's dad speaks during a rare interview about his daughter's disappearance and more details about the remote community where the family was living. First, several updates to pass along in some other missing cases.
It depends when you go live, Miss JCN. I don't know why I'm calling you Miss J. But if I'm up and awake and have had my coffee, I don't mind doing that. Hold on a second here. Miss JCN's got a great channel. She's awesome. She's amazing. Have you ever seen a movie where 2 hikers get lost? I actually have something in here about somebody that just got attacked by a bear somewhere in, was it Colorado? I think. The tree near the crime scene, they cleared as empty field now. Okay. All right. So let's do this here. Actually, hold on a second. I hate life. Oh, here we go here. So this is New Brunswick here, and this is New Sweden, right way up in here, right where my cursor is. So you can literally throw a rock and hit somebody in Canada. And I'm all the way down here. So it would take me, I got to go all the way up 95. This is a good day to get up here. There's just nothing up here at all. It's actually easier for me to get to Quebec than it is to get to, but I'm going to plan to go up there. We've done this before here. This is in the woods here. So this is New Sweden, Maine. There's literally nothing here. But I believe she was basically last seen around here somewhere. So, all right. So let me get out of this here. We'll go back to. Okay.
Cases that we are following. The parents of Ashley Marie Williams are in California this week searching for their daughter. Ashley is 28 years old, originally from Ohio, but was last seen in the Los Angeles area in late July. Her parents, Dwayne and Sherry Williams, are teaming up with retired detective Moses Castillo from the LAPD. They are searching LA's Skid Row this week after several possible sightings of Ashley. They say it is not like her to lose touch with family, and they are extremely worried for her.
Yeah, I will definitely let me know. Do you have my email? Yes, isn't she pretty? Yeah, I can try to help out as much as I possibly can. JCN's got a great channel. She definitely needs subs. Try to help you out as much as I possibly can. She's got a benefit drive coming up too at some point.
Safety and well-being. Anyone with information about Ashley Williams' whereabouts is asked to call 911 or the Los Angeles Police Department.
So I might do something on this here. This must have been recent.
Sadly, police confirmed the remains of Ziania Valora have been found in Ventura County. Ziania has been missing since June of 2024. According to the Sheriff's Department, a local conservancy group was clearing out a riverbed when they made the discovery. Ziania was 21 years old, on the autism spectrum, and had snuck out of her parents' home early one morning, barefoot and in her pajamas and without any personal belongings. Ziania's mom, Damaris, describing her to me as kind and gentle.
This sucks.
And special. She loved watching the Oscars every year. She
Charles
loved
Manson.
Hollywood, enjoyed movies and TV shows. The medical examiner says there is no obvious sign of lethal trauma. The cause of death is still pending. Two sisters from California missing for nearly 40 years have been found thanks to DNA testing. And now police are trying to find out who killed their mother. The sisters, Jasmine and Elizabeth Ramos, were just 2 and 14 months old.
Okay, so I put my email down in here for you, JCN. Charlie Manson's here again. Who asked Siri anymore? Yeah, you can literally go all day with missing people. They're everywhere. It's weird. The last couple of months for sure.
When they went missing, they were living under names given to them by foster parents who raised them in California. The investigation into how their mother died in 1989 went nowhere at the time, but detectives did profile her DNA and added it into a national database. Well, fast forward to August, that DNA matched the sisters. All police have to go on now is who killed their mom is a witness who says they saw two men with a woman and two children get into a black Mini pickup. Now to this week's featured case. It's been a year since a teen in northern Maine got into an argument with her sister and then stormed off into the woods. Everyone thought Stephanie Damron would come back in a few hours after she cooled off. But hours turned into days and into months. And now it has been a year, and the family's unconventional.
This is one of the most bizarre cases I think I've heard of. This one right here. This is just just weird. And not because it's a missing persons case, but it's because she literally, the last people to see her at all are at that house. And it doesn't seem like anybody there is willing to talk at all to anybody. And it has a lot to do with, they kind of live off the grid up there, so they're not, I don't know, but it's just a really strange case. And there's nobody up there. Obviously it's possible that she could have been, kidnapped or taken or whatever, but it's just a really strange situation here, and nobody's saying anything.
Conventional and reclusive lifestyle has churned up some suspicion, and the case has divided a town.
This is what you're going to see. There's nothing. There's a main road here, and there's, trees.
In northern Maine, a state known for its stunning coastline and fresh lobster, a town is being ripped apart over the disappearance of Stephanie
Can anyone hear that?
Damron. Her family says on September 23rd, 2024, when they weren't home, the 13-year-old got into an argument with her older sister and stormed off into the woods.
She just looked at her grandfather and told her grandfather, "I'll be back," and she never came back.
Stephanie's father has avoided being on camera, even when he spoke to a local podcast in March of 2025.
She was our handful, always into things, always into mischief, but she was a happy kid, always happy.
After a year of searches, state police, FBI, and local volunteers picking through dense vegetation.
Hello, D-Jag. Good to see you. Doing pretty good. Chemo again next week, and then only one more after. That's awesome. Hold on a second. 14, I think. Well, she was 13, but now she would be 14 because I can't believe it's been a year. It's over a year now.
And vast forests, there are still no answers about what happened to Stephanie. The Damrons moved to the remote area of New Sweden, Maine in 2021, choosing a spot far from the prying eyes of neighbors to live off the grid. No running water and only a generator for power.
I think they moved up here from Texas, I think. Was it Texas?
Their driveway, now a shrine to Stephanie, goes back several hundred yards to where they built a small wood structure similar to a yurt, but with sleeping pods extended off the sides. A glimpse is visible from this drone footage.
We live in a 200 square foot home that has 4 separate bedrooms, if you can believe that. They're talking about this being a yurt. It is a yurt. It's a hexa yurt built out of OSB and everything else, just like a normal house.
Known as Dale in the community, Stephanie's father says their solitary back-to-nature style of raising kids was a way to be free from the financial weight of a big mortgage and expensive utility bills. But even in this remote setting, his oldest girls found a way to connect.
They were waiting until Papa took his sleep.
Heather's amazing. Heather is one of the greatest people I know. She's an amazing person, and yes, she will get this for sure. We love Hebby here for sure. She's amazing.
Sleeping pills or wasn't paying attention, they would sneak off with his phone, get on some kind of weird website.
The story has sparked suspicion because the phone was a flip phone, generally thought to be safer for kids and the internet. Police have not revealed any details about the phone, but a neighbor says the last time she saw Stephanie, just weeks before the disappearance, she was asking for a ride to see a friend.
I was worried about where she wanted to go. I can kick myself for not asking her that day because she was really upset. She was crying. She couldn't find a ride. Her parents wouldn't take her. Her uncle couldn't take her.
Dale believes the day she walked off, she made a plan to meet up with someone at the road.
I honestly think that she got picked up by somebody. She thought she was going to come home that night, and they didn't bring her home.
Investigators won't say if they were able to get any information from the phone. In a recent update saying only, "We are hoping for the best outcome to find Stephanie."
The thing is that I'm pretty sure they didn't have any internet there. So the phone thing doesn't make any sense to me because, I don't think there's a tower around there, and it's just weird about the phone.
Stephanie alive. Volunteers continue to print flyers and hold rallies, but without more information, the disappearance has divided the town. The Damron's choice to live off the grid with young children in such an unforgiving environment has drawn criticism from neighbors.
We only want what's best for those children.
Who admit repeatedly calling Child Protective Services.
I was concerned that they had proper food, water, heat, and clothing for the conditions that they were living under.
They would come here and get water, and it would be like, I would have to say 3 to 4 times a week.
They were like 5-gallon pails that they would haul up here, I think, in a wheelbarrow, I believe. And they would fill them up and they would haul them back down that long driveway.
My heart actually broke for them.
But Dale says because the kids were homeschooled, CPS workers have visited regularly and are satisfied.
We've been here for 4 years, and twice a year for 4 years, CPS has always come out here.
He's angry, wanting the focus back on the search for Stephanie.
Instead of putting all this negativity towards judging us, judging that, put that energy into finding my daughter. All I want is my daughter home where she belongs, where I can take care of her. Help us find our daughter.
Everyone admitting it's been a long year.
This has taken a tremendous toll on this community. It's a different place than it was a year ago.
Chris and I moved out here because we wanted peace and quiet. But then Stephanie came up missing, and it's like, ever since then, everybody's on edge.
Stephanie's parents with a message, hoping she finds her way home.
Please just come home. We love you. The family's not the same. None of us are the same. We're all.
I think it's this is the case. I think it's possible, right? That she just took off. It's very possible that she. You always hear about these stories sometimes where, 13, 14 years old is right around that age where fight or flight, right? Like if she doesn't want to be at the house anymore and she feels like it's the old saying, growing her oats, she just decides that she wants to get out of there. But I don't put too much stock in that, but in this particular case, I'm going to put it at a higher percentage that I normally do in these cases here because it just seems that it's possible here, this one. Maybe 15 to 20%.
Missing a piece of our heart. We just need our baby home.
Joining us now, Christy Rand, a volunteer with the group Friends of Stephanie, also Travis Hartford, co-host of the Locating the Lost, a true crime podcast.
Did I say growing her oats? Sowing her? That's fine, I know. Where's Nicole? Is Nicole here? No one invite Nicole. She's a blonde. Is she here? Where's Nicole? Whoops.
To you both, thank you so much for being here. Christy, let me start with you. Friends of Stephanie, tell me about this group and your involvement and why it's so important for you to find her.
So we've created teamstephanie.org specifically to kind of bridge a gap in communication between the community and the facts of Stephanie's case. So really what we're focusing on is a place for volunteers to upload flyers of Stephanie so people nationwide can download them to hang in their communities. We really just wanted a factual place to share information and dispel kind of rumors related to her case and allow people, since this has gained national traction, a place that people can confidently go to know that they aren't getting misinformation.
And let's focus on the facts. What are the facts that stand out to you most about her disappearance that you want people watching to know about her case?
I think people need to stay focused on exactly what's showing here. Stephanie's picture, her height, her weight, her image, because that is what they need to know to be able to recognize Stephanie if they see her in a public place. And that's what we're trying to stick to.
Travis, at what point did you hear about this case and become involved?
About a week after she went missing, we started sharing her posters because it seemed different, right? It's a 13-year-old girl in the middle of nowhere, kind of wandered off to the woods. No one has seen her since.
And what have you learned about the case in the last year as countless searches have taken place and there's been no sign of her?
So the law enforcement has kept it pretty close to the vest, what they do know. They're not sharing a lot with a lot of people. I think Dale coming on our podcast was a big help to let the general public understand how they live and how he feels about his children. And, it may not be the same as you and I, but he's definitely seems like someone that wants to take care of his children. Just raise them a little differently than the rest of us.
Another interesting thing too, though, is we also have those missing kids from Nova Scotia, right? I'm not saying that that's connected to this this case here, but there might be. I mean, it's possible that there's a ring going on around this area here, maybe for trafficking or something like that. Because hold on a second, let me back to the map here for a second. I mean, here's Nova Scotia here. Here's Upper Maine. This is all Canada here. So, I mean, I wouldn't rule that out either. All right. A second here. And I think that, when did they go missing? May 2nd, 2025.
I guess.
What else did he tell you, Travis, about what was happening within the family, specific to Stephanie, prior to her walking away that day?
He alluded to us that him and his wife, Lisa, were.
I think the mother lives there too. I'm pretty sure they moved up from either Texas or Alabama, somewhere down there. I do agree. I do agree with this statement here. I feel if you raise your kids off the grid, they may be more naive to the real world. So maybe she did encounter trouble. I think it's possible that she she voluntarily went somewhere, and there may be something happened to her after that. But I wouldn't rule out the trafficking thing either.
Are out at a job interview, and while they're gone, they received a text from the older daughter saying that Stephanie had been upset with her.
I mean, it's nothing up here. If you take a kid up here, no one will see you. It's not like there's closed circuit TVs, any cameras anywhere. There's I just tried looking for a cell tower up here. There's probably maybe one. And it's right close to the Canadian border. So, I mean, anything's possible.
And she wandered off into the woods. When they got home, Stephanie still wasn't back there. Dale thought that he was supposed to wait 24 hours before he could call the police. So they waited till the next morning to get the police involved. He did say that him and his wife, Lisa, did go around and try to look for her. They went up and down the road. They knocked on neighbors' doors as well.
What about the people that she was in touch with, Travis? What did Dale say about anyone he knew his daughter was speaking to?
He said he was not aware of her speaking to anyone initially, and then I guess talking.
Yeah, I don't think the parents were home. I think the only people that were home when she disappeared was the grandfather and her sister. So, and apparently she was supposed to be doing chores and she wasn't doing chores. So they got into an argument. Her and I mean, this is coming from what I've heard about this. She got into an argument with her sister and then she stormed off and then nobody's seen her since.
To his older daughter, they had figured out that she may have been in contact with people online, people from further to get online and meet these people from beyond.
Christy, tell me about this area and what you all.
Isn't it really hard to get online with a flip phone? I mean, you really have to know how to use a flip phone to get online. It's not easy, right? See, the dad thinks she got picked up.
Have learned as you've conducted searches and tried to get the word out?
Well, in general, Stephanie was extremely far from a major city or a major metropolitan area. So you're surrounded by a very dense area of woods and have quite a distance between some of your closest neighbors. Maybe even like your closest neighbors in her case didn't have cameras that would have caught her coming and going consistently. We've learned.
I mean, if you want to be off the grid, this is the place to do it because you don't even need a yurt. There's nobody there. There's probably more caribou there than people. That's,
that she's very secluded where she is. So not a lot of access to meeting new people organically per se. You know, she wasn't going to be coming across kids her age just out and about on her street. So very difficult time to make friends and have peers your own age. She was secluded and had limited resources.
What have been some of the greatest challenges, Christy, for you and your group as you look into this case in trying to find answers and get information?
Well, I would say the lack of official updates from authorities is our biggest challenge. We have no official information to say whether or not Stephanie left New Sweden.
I'm pretty sure you have a better chance of texting. So, you know, it's possible that she texted somebody to meet her, to pick her up or something like that, but cell phone service, like internet service, I don't know. It's especially if you're walking in the woods, it's that would be kind of hard to do.
There's been no confirmed sightings of Stephanie, say, in her closest cities like Caribou, Calais, Presque Isle. We have no confirmation of her being seen anywhere else in the state. And at this point, we are kind of up in the air about whether our efforts would be best to be focused in New Sweden or if this is nationwide and there's a reason to suspect that she could have left the town or the state. That's been our biggest roadblock, is trying to determine where to best put our resources and where they would be most effective, because we have no indication that there's any idea of where she is.
Travis, why do you believe that police remain so tight-lipped about a missing case that you would seemingly want more people to know about?
You know, I'd love to have an answer for you on that. My only guess is that they are investigating either individuals closer to the home, and they don't want them to know what they actually know. Because I would feel like if they were really suspecting that she's somewhere else, they would be more upfront about, you know, who she might have been talking to online, any websites she might have visited, that type of stuff.
I know that the father was frustrated with what has happened in the community and criticism they have gotten. Can you elaborate on more about his concerns and what he said about that?
Yeah, so Dale, I think, has a lot of pride in himself and his family. You know, he wants to take care of his family, protect them. And I think that going through a situation like this, I can imagine even losing a child, and going through all this, but then to have seemingly the community kind of turn their back on them just because they live differently than others might live. Dale has been kind of short with people online and kind of calling people out, I think.
Hey, so this is, this is right around late September where she was last seen up here, right? So where am I? So I'm assuming that like they start getting their foliage a lot sooner than us down here. So I don't know if there would have been this much, leaves on the trees here. So, but I'm still thinking there would have been, plenty.
I think that is also causing people to be divided on how much they really feel for this family, because they think that maybe the family's involved.
Why does he believe that she got picked up by someone and had planned to come home?
So the night that she had gone missing, I guess someone in the home, either the grandfather, Richard, or one of the other children, had heard a vehicle possibly at the end of the driveway soon after she disappeared. So they suspected that maybe she'd gotten into a vehicle.
And what do we know? And Christy or Travis, either of you can answer if you know this, but what the argument was about with her older sibling that day?
So
I
I'd
was
asked
under the-
Dale.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Travis. I'll have you answer first, and then Christy, I'll ask the same question to you.
I asked Dale that question on the podcast that we covered with him, and I find it odd that he said that he still doesn't know. He's asked his older daughter several times what the argument's about, and every time she gives him a different answer. So I feel like that's kind of weird that after all this time, that's a turning point in this whole case.
Hold on a second here.
Said that he still doesn't know. He's asked his older daughter several times what the argument's about, and every time she gives him a different answer. So I feel like that's kind of weird that after all this
That is kind of strange.
time, that's a turning point in this whole case, how he doesn't know what the argument was about.
And Christy, do you have something to add to that?
I was under the impression that earlier reports had kind of been made that the argument was about chores, that there was a back and forth between the siblings about who was going to do what, or maybe it was Stephanie's turn to do something that she didn't want to do. But it was, the impression I was given was that it was to do with chores, household responsibilities, and two teenage girls, they're gonna fight, siblings, that's what they do. And I believe that that was kind of where it stemmed from.
Christy, from the online community that has grown and
I think it's also possible that, she might have been, they got, I'm pretty sure they got brown bear up there. They have, hold on a second. They have, just going to read this. They have a main black bear population is estimated to be between 24,000 and 36,000. So it's is a lot. Overall population is growing. Specific communities might see an increase in bear sightings, which could be tied to one or a few. So it's possible, that she decided to just take off, and that's a possibility too,
interest in Stephanie's disappearance
especially around late September.
has become more known to people. Have there been possible sightings that have been communicated to you all?
There have been possible sightings.
So she's been missing for about a year and a couple of weeks. The black bear up there get pretty good size. Down here they're smaller, but they can still kill you. But up there, they chase caribou around, so they're pretty good size up there. And I think they have you know, they have coyotes and stuff up there too.
Reported to us, but nothing that is concrete or confirmed. When volunteers, family members, authorities track those down, it doesn't seem that they are Stephanie. For example, community members thinking they may have seen her at a local park, and when that lead is kind of followed through with, it turns out that's another community member. Things like that, but there have been absolutely no confirmed sightings of any kind. We've not received any tips or information that seem credible that we say, yeah, that seems like it's Stephanie. We've not heard anything.
Yeah, she went missing. Hold on a second. She went missing September 23rd, 2024. This is according to AI here. After walking into the woods near her home November. So she was home. And she apparently, this is the from what I understand, is she was home. She refused to do some chores, and her and her sister got into an argument about what chores she was supposed to do, so she just took off. I know the father and the mother weren't home. The grandfather was there. It was the grandfather, and I think one of the siblings, maybe all of the siblings, who knows. I know they didn't have internet up there. And I don't think they had phones. The only thing they had was that cell phone that I'm aware of anyways, that flip phone.
Along those lines.
Travis, the dad did talk to you, but the family has not wanted to speak to the media much in this case. I think every, family member of a missing person handles these situations, difficult as they are, differently. Why has the family been reluctant to?
I think it's possible she was trafficked. I think it's possible that, she may have made it out to the main road expecting to be picked up by somebody that she knew, and maybe, a second here. Back to the map here. I mean, this is, hold on a second. I mean, there's nothing here, literally. There's a church there. There might be a camera there. I doubt it. I don't know the exact, I think I did on the first live we did. I had the exact address, I think, but, there's just, like I said, there's absolutely nothing here. And this is the main road here. So, I can see her coming out to the road here to meet somebody that, she was trying to get to pick her up, and then maybe got picked up by somebody else. But who knows? Let's get back to this here. We've done a couple lives on this for sure.
To get out in front of cameras or do interviews and try to get the word out?
I don't know. I can't speak for them. In my history of meeting with families about their missing child or unsolved murder or something like that, people are very vocal. So for me to see the Damrons be kind of quiet and hush hush about it seems a little odd. But his reason for it, he says,
I don't think the parents have anything to do with it. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I can't be, I can't say for sure, but they weren't even home. So I don't know.
Because law enforcement asked them to stay quiet in the beginning. So now it's been a year. Now he wants to be more vocal.
Yeah, understood. There are lots of layers, and no family ever wants to be in this position. Christy, anything else you want to share about the case, the facts, and your message to the broader community so that we can try to bring Stephanie home?
As far as the case and the facts, the fact is Stephanie was last seen leaving her home. There are no credible sightings of her. Community members all over the nation
See, up here in New Sweden, Maine, I don't think it matters if you're on the right side of the road or not. There ain't nobody. So,
and people everywhere need to be looking at her image. And the only things that you need to know about Stephanie to identify her in public.
but I'm going to plan a trip to go up there. It's going to take me a good 8 hours to get up there for sure. So, probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe closer to the middle of October, I'm going to go up there because I want to go up to J Maine too. So I'm going to go up to New Sweden, Maine, and on the way back, stop by J Maine to see if I can look around for, into the Kimberly Moreau case and then come back down. I want to go up to New Sweden, Maine to see the layout and to see if there's any kind of lakes around there or small ponds or.
Is what's on the missing persons flyers, the information about her family, her
Because this is still kind of the same kind of time of year, so that's why I want to go up there soon.
upbringing, her lifestyle. None of that's relevant to identifying Stephanie if you see her in a public place.
Yeah, we'll do our best to continue to share that as much as possible. Travis, I'll give you the final word. What do you think people should know most about this case and Stephanie's disappearance?
It's a mystery, right? I think that everyone needs to keep sharing her poster, just as Christy said.
And she's right. Nobody's been saying anything about this case. I mean, the few people that I know that have done stuff on this case here kind of started in the beginning. But there's not a lot of information on this here, so I can see why people haven't done a lot, but very, very little national attention, that's for sure.
Shared the stories about her, not about the family. You know, this isn't about how she was raised or anything else.
It's Miranda. Miranda's here. Hey, Miranda, good to see you. Miranda, I hope you're doing well. Miranda's here. I hope you're doing okay, Miranda. I hope he didn't wake you. It's too funny. Oh, sorry.
It's like that. It's more important that we bring Stephanie home.
We love Miranda here too. Miranda is an amazing person. I've never heard of New Sweden, Maine either, but it's up there. There's a lot of towns in Maine you probably have never heard of. There's a lot of towns in Maine people who live in Maine have never heard of.
Yeah, this is a young girl who needs to be home, and we want to make sure we can do everything we can to make that happen. Christy and Travis, thank you guys for the work that you're doing to get the word out. We'll be in touch.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye on this case too here. I've been following this case since she left. But I also wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if there's some sort of a trafficking ring going on around there, because it's strange how she just took off like that. All right, so let's move on to something else. I want to hold on one second here. I got another missing person case too that I want to get into tonight, but I do want to do this one first here. Okay, so there's this case too. The Florida girl leads cops to a creep who tried to kidnap her. This was done a few hours ago. Matthew Dutchatilier, I probably just butchered that name, 30, faces an attempted kidnapping charge after police in North Miami said he tried to snatch a girl walking home from school in August. The 11-year-old is caught on a body-worn camera telling an officer that she escaped when a man in a silver car tried to pull her into the vehicle. So here we go with this case here. So beware.
I never saw him. I don't know him.
A brave 11-year-old girl escapes after a man tries to abduct her, and then her incredible survival story helps police track down the suspect.
Turn.
What happened?
Turn, relax. What happened? Relax.
I'll lay it all out for you. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Outcomes like this, where a victim
Doing all right. I just got out of the hospital again. I'm tired. Why were you in the hospital again? I hope you feel better, Miranda. You poor thing.
victim escapes a violent crime unharmed, you don't see it that often. So I am really happy to report to you that down in Florida, sometimes the criminals aren't smarter or stronger than a fifth grader. And thank goodness for that. The alleged incident took place as this young girl was walking home from school in North Miami back in August. Luckily, a witness saw the entire thing. So officers head over to the apartment complex where it all went down.
Is a complainant a victim?
Negative. Complainant is
Sure, so see if the complainant can come open the door. Just advised that will be on the east side of the development.
Did you call police?
You call the police?
Yes, one of them over here. Okay.
Okay.
all the way down there.
You called?
The long day? Okay. Did you see what happened?
No.
Is the person that almost got abducted, is she here? She speak English?
Investigators work their way upstairs to chat directly with the victim.
Who's the victim? What happened to you? Did anybody see it? Who are you to? Okay, what happened?
I was sitting down on the balcony and I saw her walking in. So natural instinct will walk
in here.
No, she's walking from out there.
Okay.
So natural instinct to watch her walk in. So I look over the balcony to see her walk in, and then I saw this guy coming fast. So when they come in, I see him run to the gate. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, he lives here and he got something. So that's why he's running to the gate. Then I saw him grab her and started pulling her backwards to the car, and he is trying to attempt to put her in to the front of the car. But then she's fighting.
Yeah.
She's kicking.
Anybody, did you go down to help her?
No, I
Did you identify the guy if you saw him?
Yes.
You saw his face?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
11? I'm gonna say there's gonna be a
Yeah.
juvenile. You're going to 255.
What's the description for the car?
It's a gray.
You're surprised the victim's gonna be.
It's a gray or silver.
You know the model, maybe?
It kind of does a Honda. It has the same shape as a Honda.
Okay.
Are you mom? Who's mom? Your mom? Do you have your ID on you? Have you recognized him? Have you seen him before? Does he live here? Never seen a car down here?
Okay. Do you know maybe what year? No, the tag?
The tag, the license plate.
I didn't see.
No?
What about the guy? Is he tall,
Okay.
short?
Tall, very skinny, and has tattoos. His ear had a twist and he had a blue hat on. Do you recognize one of the tattoos? Like you can, say how the tattoo looks.
No, where do you have tattoos?
On his hands.
Left, right?
Okay, so on the balcony, he was turning this way to come in. So it's this hand that
Left. Just like sleeve or-
Are you right?
Yeah.
How did he grab you?
So I was.
You were just walking to this?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point did he grab you? Like, were you already in front of here or were you out there?
In front of the gate.
So did he get here first or did she get here first? Okay, so he followed her. Okay. So you got here first?
Yeah.
And at what point did he touch you? Did you already open the gate?
I was trying to, so he grabbed me from the front one. He grabbed me from my hood, like kind of pushed me back.
So he was in front of you? He got in front of you? That's the first time he got you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me get mom.
This is really scary. This stuff is scary. I had brain surgery and then I got an infection. Yes, Miranda's amazing. She was, I think Cooper, I forget her name. Cooper. She's a mod. Cooper or something. Copper Horse. right? Copper Horse, I think, was my actually first person on one of my lives. Her and I think Karen Lee too. Karen Lee, but Miranda was shortly thereafter. And then came Dino and Heather and Southern Gal and all the greats. But I hope you start. I'm going to listen while I rest. Sending my love to you all. Yeah, I know you had the brain surgery, and I know that you weren't feeling good the last time I talked to you. But we love Miranda here for sure. She's amazing. I hope you feel better soon. I'm an OG and watched you when you had 3 people. Yes. I'm glad you're here for sure. All right, so let's go back to this here. But this is scary shit right here, and that's why I show these things, because you gotta watch yourself all the time, because there's freaking creepy people, creepers everywhere. And I think they say that if you feel something, then go with your instinct, right? Like if you feel uncomfortable in a situation, go with your instinct immediately, right?
Do you have beer?
341-3940 Northwest 185 Street, 21-year-old male testing.
Clothing description they have? You know, clothing description?
So it's a white t-shirt.
Hiawatha is here too. Let me know if you want to wrench Hiawatha. Hiawatha is amazing too. I watch a lot of Farmer too. Farmer's great too.
Blue shorts, and then that's like
Blue shorts?
yeah, and he had a blue hat on.
Blue hat, okay. When he left, do you know which direction he went? Did he went that way?
He went down. Because he was going up, yeah.
That's one piece.
You put a picture? Huh? You saw a picture? He went that way.
That way. And
remember, he's asking if he went to one more side or that side. So he went that side towards the wrong side.
okay. And how long ago was that?
It's 5:14, so probably around like 4. When did you get the screen?
We heard her screaming 4:30, 4 in the morning. We just heard her screaming the other side.
Thank you.
Really quickly, I want to tell you about this great free app I've been using. It's Upside, and it will get you cash back on things you buy. Every code
We don't
Prime
care.
Fix for an
Okay, whatever you just told me, tell me again without anybody else being there so I can tell the story because I'm the right report, okay?
Okay, so I was walking from here.
On the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Closest up to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's turning here, it's kind of like
You were walking this way.
yeah, and then I turn around, I see the car parked from the big picture over there where she was sitting at, and then I saw the car.
The car, when you saw it, it was parked or it was driving?
It was parked. And
Where was it parked?
It was parked by the tree over there.
In front of the complex?
And I was trying to open the gate, and then he zoomed fast. He grabbed me by the front first, then he pulled me backwards.
So, like, when he grabbed you at the front, was he in front of you or was he behind you?
He was behind me. Like,
So, look, do it to me. I'm gonna go open the gate. So he wrapped his own. Okay, Hiawatha, thank you. Sorry, I've been trying to pull up the next 3 people watch Dave, so all this is their fault. Exactly. I know Copper Horse was she was a mod for I forget his name. I know True Crime Web for sure, Steve, and then she was over there on why can't I remember his name now? He used to go on Cold Cases with Steve.
one of my
over there, I was trying to like take out my book bag so I could walk to her house. Well, like as I was trying to take out my book bag, he grabbed he's around me tight, and then he tried to push me from the driver's seat, and then I was.
No, why can't I remember his name now? He did a really good job on the that case out in Utah. He's on the West Coast. He was the one that Steve almost ran over with his car. Remember? Or he almost ran Steve over with his car. I forget his name now. Why can't I remember his name? Roy Brown. No, I think so.
As I was kicking,
Was there anybody in the car?
No, there was.
Dylan, he did a great job with the Dylan. Was it Dylan Brooks? Dylan, forget his name now.
He tried to put you in the driver's side?
Yeah.
And so he actually, was your backpack on at that point, or did you take it off?
My backpack was on.
Okay, so he pulled you into where the passenger seat would be?
No, the driver's seat was. And then.
The driver's seat?
Yeah, and then like the car was like.
Oh, so in the back. So the back of the driver.
So like in the front, like the driver's seat, like his car was parked this way, and this is the driver's seat, and we're trying to place him back here.
Into the driver's seat?
Yeah. And so as I was.
Yeah, he did a great job on the Dylan Rounds case. Monsters Under the Bed. That's him. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think he goes by Monsters Under the Bed anymore. He's a Mob Crew. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Dee Dee, Mustang, and Southern Gal. Why did I mention him? But he was a Cooper Horse was a mod for him. That's where I met her. Chris is awesome though. I was following Chris when he had like 3 or 4 subscribers a long time ago. Him and Grizzly. Gizela.
Yelling. I think he saw someone and then he just let me go.
And you never saw this guy before?
And then I never saw him. I don't know him.
So at one point you were sitting in the car?
Like sort of, and then as I was kicking yelling, he just let me go somehow. I don't know.
So were you laying in his car?
I was like this. Like I was like this.
And so he grabbed you from behind, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of put you in there like that? So he tries putting you in. So he grabs you like this, right? And then puts you in like that. So you would be, at this point, when he grabs you like this, your back is to him, right? Or your front.
I was like, he tried like slowly grab me from my book bag. I kept on doing my mom.
These scumbags are everywhere, right? They go to work every day just like you and I. The only difference is their job is to kidnap and do all kinds of crazy things to people. And a lot of these people just don't get away. But some of them do. And I like to share these with people because this doesn't happen every day where these people get away. So.
And I was trying to take out the book bag, and then he puts me like this.
In retrospect, the young girl, she realized she first noticed this silver vehicle parked outside of a construction site near her school.
It's good to see the Jag in here. Are you taking off, Heather? Please don't go.
School. So when she spotted that same vehicle again outside of her apartment complex, she knew that something wasn't right.
The car was parked right here, face that way. So his driver's door was on this side.
Before I came like
Oh, baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go down to New Orleans. Oh, I love you so. Baby, please don't go. No more singing, I promise. Okay, good.
privacy door was open. Yeah, and then I didn't want to like look so like
To make it obvious.
and just go and stuff, and it's
So like you got like a weird feeling, right?
yeah and stuff. So I start walking, and I didn't see him as I was walking a little fast. I turned around to see if everybody was following me, and I see the car parked.
So at what point did he drive away?
I don't know. I
Like what point did he let go of you? Did he notice someone?
I think he noticed someone.
And then he just ran out.
And then he just ran to his car and just ran fast, I guess, and stuff. And I just can't open the door, you know, and then trying to like.
So you were in the car at one point?
Yeah.
With the door closed?
No, the door was sort of open.
So the door never closed? But you were kicking and screaming?
Yeah.
You didn't see the guy, right?
So remember that kicking and screaming, that seemed to help.
So, and then at that point, he what, made a turn?
I think so.
So you just came running up?
Yeah, I just ran.
How'd you open the gate?
The door, the gate was open. I just opened it and just
All right, I'll be right back. Let me go see if there's any cameras, okay? I'm gonna see if there's cameras right here. And I can call up.
So there's a black male, 5'7" in height. Has a tattoo sleeve on his left arm. Last seen wearing a blue hat, white shirt, and blue shorts.
The investigator canvasses the nearby homes with the hopes a camera captured some of this incident or a possible glimpse of the suspect.
No.
Does anybody here speak English?
What happened?
Can you understand me?
Yeah.
A little bit? Do your cameras work?
No.
They don't work?
No.
Okay. All right.
Problem. There you go.
Yeah, no, over there.
Okay, baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before heading out, the officer confirms some details with the eyewitness.
Why do people have cameras if they don't work?
You know how tall you are? You know how tall you are? How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? You know? 53. Victim's going to be a juvenile. She was walking into her complex at school. She noticed this car a little weird that was parked facing north, going into her development. So she kind of started walking a little faster, and then the car kind of beat her to her apartment complex. The neighbor.
They really are. They're really exactly what Shibby said here. They're just usually afraid of their own shadow.
Ended up, she was on the balcony. She heard like screaming. But until that point, the girl goes and opens the apartment complex gate, because there's like a little gate that you have to open a door to get in. And this guy gets out of the car, pulls his car up, grabs her from behind, and basically drags her into the vehicle, driver's side, front door, and she's kicking and screaming. At that point, she said that this guy saw someone else come out, and kind of she got out and he drove away. He grabs her from behind. He kind of places her in the vehicle, but not in a sturdy position. The door doesn't shut because she's kicking. She's kicking. And at that point, I think she says that he thinks that maybe someone heard her kicking and screaming. That she jumps out of the vehicle and rushes to the gate. And at that point, the neighbor member downstairs to get her and heard her just say something.
She's freaking lucky. She's lucky she didn't get in that car. She's lucky that he didn't get her in that car.
Just to verify, it's all. So what point did you start seeing things? Like, did you see him drag her into the car? You saw everything? Just confirm me. Hello?
And the really bad thing is that these people that do stuff like this are everywhere.
Okay, you have a template or no? Yeah, I'll have a template, I'll get one. I'll do it. No problem.
Predator black male, 5'7" in height. Has a tattooed sleeve on his left arm. Last seen wearing a blue hat, white shirt, and blue shorts. He was last seen eastbound on 1923, and the victim was an 11-year-old. Clear as 1720.
Oh, did you see that car? Hold on a second.
Investigators secured surveillance footage of the silver sedan passing the victim prior to the attempted kidnapping. The owner of the vehicle was tracked down, and two separate photo lineups positively identified the suspect as 30-year-old Matthew Ducatellier. North Miami police detained him at his home.
Let's hope he resists arrest. Let's just hope.
Turn.
What happened?
Relax. What happened? Relax.
What happened?
What happened? You got a detective you need to talk to at the station.
What happened?
Yep. Yep. He's Matthew, right? You Matthew, right? What did I do?
That's my son.
That's fine.
You know what happened?
Say it again. I'm in probation. That's okay. Okay. All right, no problem. Please. What's wrong with y'all? No. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you? I'm trying to figure it out. I just told you. There's a detective that's going to talk to the station.
Ducatellier was placed in an interview room where he waived his right to legal counsel, according to the police report. That's when he told investigators he didn't know why he did what he did. He admitted to it, but based on
What a dumbass.
court records, we can
I mean, it's good that he did that, but what a dumbass.
only assume what he was planning. Records show that Ducatellier was just 4 months into a 4-year probation stint for inappropriately touching a 13-year-old girl inside a TJ Maxx store last October, which is extreme.
So this is what they should do now, right? This is what they should do now. Obviously, there's a history here, and this guy here should not be on the streets ever again. So he should be in custody and somewhere for the rest of his life. It's not going to get any better, right?
Extremely troubling given the fact that his molestation charge was dropped. He was only convicted of battery and sentenced to supervised release until December of 2029. However, we will have to see what happens to him for
Unbelievable. This is the problem. This is what the problem is. You know, the cops go get these people or get these bad guys, right? And they do their job. This girl gets away with getting away without getting unalived, and this guy's probably going to be on the streets again. What's the sense? Why even bother? It's so dumb.
For this recent incident, he faces 1 count of attempted kidnapping of a child.
People like this don't get better. It's not like there's a cure for this. This is not supposed to happen the first time. And if it happens a second time and you're lucky to catch the guy, yeah.
Under the age of 13, Ducatellier is currently in custody at the Miami-Dade jail, awaiting his next hearing without bond. His trial is now scheduled for March of 2026. So an incredible.
I'll never sign on to that. I'll never but you know, what do I know?
Incredibly disturbing case, but thank goodness that 11-year-old girl was able to get away from him.
Yeah, because what is it? Like 7 out of 10 times they don't get away. And that's the sad part, you know, because they could just get let out again. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me, I'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully he gets, I don't have any respect for anybody that does stuff like that. Sorry. Okay. We did that one. I want to do this one here because this came out a few days ago, and I saw my buddy Bob Ward on this, so I figured I'd play this. The FBI came out with their own version of this too here a few days ago. So the FBI says a recent search of a Burrillville pond is connected to the disappearance of a 4-year-old boy nearly found 5 decades ago. Andrew Amato was reported missing on September 30th, 1978, after he was last seen playing in the woods near his home in Webster, Massachusetts. His sister told investigators that Andrew stayed behind to look for a toy he dropped. When she returned, he was gone. So this is this case here.
Yeah, Dan, Emily, crews were searching the Round Pond in Burrillville just last week, hoping to find answers in the disappearance of 4-year-old Andrew Amato.
Hello, Beasley. Good to see you. It's always good to see Beasley in here. Thank you for coming in. I always appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody for being here. Trust me. To listen to me for a couple hours every week is outstanding.
He's only 4 years old, guys.
The desperate search began September 30th, 1978. 47 years later, and it continues to haunt the family of Andrew Amato.
He was a blonde-haired, hazel-eyed, sweet, caring little boy. Who would share whatever he had with you.
4-year-old Andrew was last seen playing near the woods in Webster, Massachusetts. His sister Michelle says she turned back, but Andrew stayed to look for a toy he dropped on the trail. By the time she ran back, he was gone.
For me, it's been brutal. It's been brutal because I feel somewhat responsible.
I just keep hoping and praying. I just hope that they can find him.
The town shut down for weeks, a search spanning 3 states, with helicopters, divers, and even the National Guard.
We've done an exhaustive search of that area and numerous other areas. One of the areas of interest that we wanted to take another look at was this pond in Burrillville.
On September 18th, FBI dive teams returned to the Round Pond in Burrillville, Rhode Island, looking for, quote, specific evidence. How often do you guys get that kind of attention?
Never. Oh my gosh, never at all. I think it's sad if that happened to a little boy.
Justin Huell is the president of the Lake Association.
Actually, my father-in-law was one of the people, when he lived over here, he was one of the people going in the woods helping because the trails are endless out here.
As is the pain endured by the Amato family, still holding on to hope.
Any clue, anything that would lead to the recovery of my brother would mean the world to me.
The FBI is offering $25,000 for any information. Head to our website, turnto10.com, for details on how to contact investigators. Live in Burrillville, Leanna Falk, NBC 10 News, 19.
Yeah, that's I think we did. Did we do something on him a few weeks ago? I'm not sure. I do want to play this one too here. Hold on a second. No, I don't want to play that one there. I thought I had another missing persons case, but I guess not. This is we just did this one here a couple of seconds ago, actually. Knew I had this in here somewhere. This about those 2 missing girls in Arizona here that were found alive. I was going to play this one tonight, and Marnie Hughes just went over this in the last missing that we did. So this is this story here about these 2 missing sisters found alive after decades after mothers unaliving in the Mojave County. So here's this. This was done 12 days ago. So I should have done this one last week, but I didn't. Hold on a second. I have the latest one, which is right here.
2 California sisters missing for 36 years have now been found alive and well. Police found both Jasmine and Elizabeth Ramos in Ventura County, California, living under new names. Neither of them had any idea that they'd been reported missing. What? How did this story unfold? Apparently, their mother was killed. She was stabbed multiple times and found dead in Arizona back in 1989. Somebody walking by found the girls. At the time, they were just 2 months and 14 months old. They were just babies. days after they went missing, after he heard kids crying in a park bathroom. That's where they were found. At the time, police didn't make the connection between those missing girls, again, found separately from the mother. The girls were adopted by a couple and raised together. Now the investigation, of course, is shifting to search for their mother's killer. Rahima Ellis has more. This 3 decades, Rahima, that this connection was never made. How did police end up either tracking these girls down? Was it coincidental? How did they find them?
It's not a coincidence at all. This is a result of good old-fashioned detective work, actually. In 2019, the Mojave County Police Department decided to set up a cold case unit to investigate cases that they had not been able to solve. One of them that they decided to zero in on was that of this woman whose body, her stabbed body, had been found. Didn't know who she was, had no identification on her. Fast forward 3.
Could you imagine this? These 2 kids were taken, and they were probably just at some point just assumed to be unalived, and 36 years.
Years from there, they decided to take the fingerprints from that dead woman and see if there was any fingerprint information in any of the files. Lo and behold, they found a finger.
Thank you, Mustang. Appreciate that. Southern Gal's amazing. She's arguably the greatest creator out there. She does great work on the missing. She does an amazing job on the Monday Night Missing. We got John Paul Hansen in here. He's a great musician, great artist. Thank you for that, Mustang. Mustang's great too. And Paula. Paula does her morning stuff, her morning lives. Paula's amazing. She keeps me on my toes, trust me. Paula is just awesome.
Fingerprint match. And with that match, they found a name and an address. They went to the address that they found, and they found a roommate, turned out to be a relative. They got from a family member then DNA evidence from the person. And that then allowed them to identify indeed who this woman was. The person who they originally gotten the DNA evidence from, they thought had been a shoplifter, and her family said she sometimes used an alias. That then led them to check the DNA database of people all over. And it led them to these 2 little girls who in 1989, when their mother had been...
Isn't this amazing? Like, this is just, you can't make this stuff up.
Reported missing. The children had been reported missing too.
Wow. It is just incredible to think about. Do we know anything about their reaction tonight? What about the search to find the killer of their mother?
We don't know about that, but we do know that the girls had been keeping some sort of clips and files over the years because they were curious. They were raised by a foster family. And what we know now is that police have put out some information about what witnesses say they saw that day. They saw that the family had been together with 2 men in a car, and the police are putting out this information hoping it might jog someone's memory.
Well, definitely a story we're going to keep tracking. Rahima Ellis, thank you very much for bringing us that one. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be able to play all of this because I wasted a lot of time here. Did you see, did you go see the new Naked Gun movie? Did you say you went to see that? I want to see that. Let me know how that was. You're going to be reviewing both the Taylor Swift movie and Monster Ed Gein, the SKer. All right, I'm going to play a little of this because I want to. I might have to do 2 parts on this here because I've already been here 3 hours. Hold on a second. But this is the other missing persons case I wanted to do here. You did see the Naked Gun and loved it? Okay, good. That's the one with what's his face, right? All right, so this is the other one that I wanted to do here. This is the I forget this guy's name here, Olivier. But here goes.
Everglades National Park in the summer of 2011. And now a News Nation investigation has discovered his disappearance follows that of another man with strong family ties who went missing on a camping trip months earlier. Both of these cases getting very little media attention until now. Everglades National Park. 1 million visitors boat, camp, and come face to face with its fiercest residents
Look at the size of this thing.
each year.
Year in the road.
And I found out from a news reporter that called me and said, "Are you aware your son is missing in the Everglades?"
Lori Durham says her son, Jacob Olivier, has no ties to the 1.5 million acre park or any of the 3 South Florida counties it straddles. But the Louisiana native's truck was found there in August of 2011. Rangers started searching after noting it'd been abandoned for days.
First, I'm told there's a video of the truck going in. Then I'm told later the video never existed.
National Park Service notes indicate the 1998 Isuzu pickup was parked near Pine Glades Lake. Jacob's mom says he left Spring, Texas in that truck, where he'd gone to rehab and been living with his dad and stepmom. He stopped in an area he once called home outside Savannah, Georgia, hoping to rekindle a romantic relationship. With that ex-girlfriend dating someone new, Jacob took off. A receipt from a
When I was down in Hilton Head, South Carolina, the last time, which was probably a good 15 years ago now, I figured out why people from Florida go and vacation to Hilton Head and Savannah, Florida a lot, and it's because they try to get away from the heat in Florida. I don't know if that's true, but that's what some people told me. That's
a hotel in Daytona Beach found in his truck in the Everglades.
I love Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach to me is of all the Eastern Florida places to go beaches, that's probably one of the best.
We have no connections in the Everglades. We don't have any family in Florida.
Courtney Yeager is Jacob's sister. She recalls he would run off from what she says was a rough childhood.
When my mom told me he was missing, I said, he probably just ran away. Like, I was in denial. I said, he's gonna come back. I was in shock.
Shock shook the same park just 5 months earlier. 67-year-old Roger Sawyer and his extended family stopped their motorhome in March 2011 in the Flamingo district of the park on the way to the Florida Keys. Unaffected by dementia, they say the group split up for 20 minutes to stretch their legs and hike a bit. Sawyer never returned. After a week of intense ground and air searches, the hunt for the retired grocer called off.
This one here is the 3 boys.
Lori Durham looks back lovingly at memories of her middle son.
And Jacob, they win baseball.
The happy pictures of childhood in sharp contrast to the pain she endures, knowing that scores of searches using canines and helicopters to look for Jacob for a week, finding no trace.
But I'm still here, and I'm going to keep looking to the last breath I have in me. I'm not giving up. I will never give up until I'm cremated. I'm never giving up.
You just feel for these people. I say it all the time, but moms won't give up, bro. They're just not going to give up. So,
Never giving up. We reached out to the Everglades National Park's law enforcement team for information on both Jacob and Roger Sawyer's cases. The chief of communications tells us they are urging people to come forward with pertinent information on both of the cases and that they are still open. Our public records request, however, was denied. Jacob Olivier would be 36 years old today. Roger Sawyer, 81 years old. And joining me now to talk more about this ongoing investigation in the case is Lori Durham, and also her husband Todd is with us. Thanks to you both for your time. And I know this is a great time of heartbreak for you.
I do know a little bit about him. Not a ton about him though. I'm pretty sure that Charlie Manson knows quite a bit about him.
Lori, let me start with you. The last time you saw your son was when, and what do you remember about the last time you spoke?
Last time I saw him,
It was in 2010 when he left our home and went to go back to Texas to his father.
And tell me about that last interaction, that last conversation, as you recall it.
The Charlie Manson that comes in here, Chuck knows everything about every serial killer.
It was peaceful. He just said he wanted to go back to Texas, and he left, and everything was fine. And I found out he went back to go to rehab.
And
I knew he had a small drug.
Yeah, sorry, we've got a little bit of a delay. How was he doing dealing with addiction and some of the challenges in his life?
He didn't have a bad addiction at all. He smoked a little bit of weed, and that was about it. I don't know how bad his addiction was prior than him coming to live with me. He went to his dad's when he was 10 years old, and I didn't have contact with him, but not by my choice. And he came back and lived with me when he was 17.
What do you think, Lori, he was doing in Florida? We heard in the piece that he had no connections there. What's your theory?
I really don't know if he himself was in Florida. He had gone to outside of Savannah to find his ex-girlfriend, and he found out she had someone else. And he was, from that time in Georgia until the time his truck was found, that was a 2-week period.
Okay, so disappearance timeline, January 29th. That's when he was born, 1988. Moved to Torrejon Air Base in Spain. Jacob entered the U.S. Army at 17. Not dishonorably discharged, moved out of his mom's home and back to it with his father's house in Texas.
No one knows where he was. He could have been anywhere. He may not have been in Florida. His truck was found in Florida. The ex-girlfriend reached out to me after he went missing, and she was the last person, by her own words, that she.
You know who's good with the Charlie Manson case is Rick Snay. I know a lot about Charlie. Charlie Manson is probably the guy that got me involved in true crime. But I know that Rick Snay knows a lot about that too.
Saw him last alive. And
what about the truck, Lori? I mean, the truck was found, and whether or not he was there or not, we don't know. But what was inside the truck? Was there any evidence that helps piece together this puzzle for you?
What I was told by the Everglades.
Right off the bat, in this case here, I'm thinking maybe jealousy.
He had an empty gun holster. His computer was missing, and there were pill bottles. They never would tell me if they.
That's a 1998 Isuzu Hombre pickup. How many years did they make the Hombre? They couldn't have made that truck very long. Maybe a few years, because I remember a little bit of that.
They were empty or full, that there were pill bottles. And that was it. And the Daytona receipt for a hotel never told me if his name was on it or if they even checked it out. That was for the day before he went through the park on the 24th.
So it says Olivia's truck found near Pine Glades Lake. It had been abandoned for days. Something's telling me that he didn't drive that truck down there.
How about people in his life? As you look back at that time around 2011, was he suspicious or scared of anybody? Was he having any interactions that he shared with you all that concerned him?
Not to my knowledge. He knew that he had a child, and but he didn't get to see his child.
Your daughter thinks that there was some sort of foul play. We have a clip of an interview that we did with her. Let's play that for folks at home.
Yeah, I think this is this might be your typical love triangle here.
I have this weird theory in my head that he was involved with the wrong people. And part of me feels like he was in danger.
Would you like to add to that, Lori? I mean, do you share some of that concern?
There were times that he did hang around with the wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, you can't go anywhere in the UK these days, or anywhere in Europe for that matter, without being on camera. But it's the same in Florida. So if he was in Florida, like say he was in Daytona, Florida, Daytona Beach anyways, maybe not so much the Everglades, but Daytona, around there, the eastern side, you're going to be on camera. There's cameras everywhere. I don't think he ever was in Florida alive. I think it's just my opinion.
Wrong people. I agree with that. But and something very well could have happened. He crossed paths with the wrong person. But I know deep in my heart, he did not commit suicide like the Everglades wanted us to believe.
What communication have you had with those investigating your son's disappearance, if any, in the last decade?
Oh, at first I was keeping notes of the conversations, and then I was finding out that every time I turned around, I was getting the runaround lies. And I ceased the phone calls with them, and I did everything by email or text. I would not pick up the phone to speak to them. I had a paper trail of everything that they said. So there would be no.
Why would he be way down here? It's weird.
Miscommunications, and I still got the runaround from them.
As time has passed, has communication dwindled? Are you getting any updates now?
No, absolutely not. I was told I had a private investigator on the case, and they couldn't even.
So January 2010, his son was born, rehab for a portion. He was in rehab for a portion of the year. Went back to Georgia in 2011 in August, near Savannah, where he grew up, to visit an ex. See, this is strange to me. To visit an ex-girlfriend, last known. She's the last known person to see Jacob alive. To see Jacob move to the base. What does this mean? Grew up. Okay, last known person to see Jacob. His car enters Everglades National Park, August 27th in 2011. Search begins and ends a week later. Boy, they didn't search long.
Even get in touch with the Everglades to be helpful at all. And all they would tell me is it's an open case.
Probably. I'll probably be either an hour early or an hour late. I forget.
It's a cold case. It's a cold open case. Yeah. They won't do anything. I sent out at the very couple of years after the case was, after he went missing, the FOIA report, and that was a slap in the face. I was told that it would take a few months for them to get me the report, and that it was 4.5 inches thick. So I'm expecting the report. I get it. It was like 10 pages long, if that, and I got the report.
Okay, so John Paul Hansen has a couple of lives coming up. Make sure you, if you're subscribed over there, to hit the notify button there, because I always forget to do that too sometimes.
They spent, they bought the team Subway sandwiches. They bought the team pizza. They had bought bug spray, and it was a joke.
Thank you, Paula.
And the weather report.
We love Paula. Paula's amazing.
Of when my son was missing. That's what they called his investigation report. Yeah. That's what I got.
It sounds like such a complex investigation and so many unanswered questions there early on. And after time goes by, yeah, you end up in the cold case scenario, which is where I know you don't want to be. Todd, I know you're there supporting Lori. How has Jacob's disappearance all these years and a lack of answers impacted your entire family?
It's been rough. I tell you what, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I mean, I watch her go through this day in and day out. Every year at the same time, it's just a rough scenario. You can see it really.
It's hard for me to believe why he would drive all the way down to the Everglades. There's nothing there. Yeah, I'm going to be getting out of here soon too. Thank you, Paula. Have a great night. Stay safe this week. I hope you feel good. We love Paula here. I'll see you around at some point this week here. Paula's amazing.
Get to her real bad every year.
All right, I'm going to get out of here too. I just wanted to run that. I may do another part on this next week. Because I feel like I gypped you guys on this here. So I'll try to do a breakdown of this a little bit better with more stuff on that. So, but I'm going to get out of here too, because I've been here 3.5 hours. Oh my God. All right. So what am I doing? All right, so I just want to thank everybody for coming in. Heather, you're amazing. I hope you feel good. I hope you feel better. We love Heather here. Heather's an amazing human being. Wouldn't be a chat without you. Miss Dino, though. All right, Beasley, thank you so much for coming in. Mustang, you're awesome. Thank you for coming in. Mustang's amazing for helping out in the channel. Paul is amazing too. Thank you. John Paul Hansen. Make sure that you hit the notify button over there on his channel. Dirty Diana, thank you so much. Let me know when you're doing your next live. I know Dirty Diana's awesome. Amazing person. All right, let me scroll back up here. I know that JC Ann was in here. I'm going to say that before I forget. JC Ann's got a great, sweet dude. Shibby's awesome. Great guy. I'll see Shibby around places here for sure this week. I know that Lisa Joe was here. Lisa Joe's amazing. She's got a great channel. I got to look into that Jane Doe case of hers too. Let's see here. Hide current comments. Southern Gal was here too. Southern Gal's amazing. She's going to be doing her live Monday night. I hope to catch that. Miranda was here. I hope you feel better, Miranda. We love you here. You're always welcome here. Miranda's awesome. Awesome person. I hope you feel better. Chuck was here. Chuck's awesome. If you want to know anything about serial killers, or he's the place to go to. Here, I know that Big Fish was here. Big Fish was awesome. Peggy O was here. Peggy O, it's a great channel. I always try to make her lives whenever I can. Maybe that's why I'm not catching her lives, because I don't have my notifications on. But she's awesome too. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll, but the Jag was here. The Jag, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. I know I think Doodlebug was in here. Doodlebug's got a great channel too. Doodlebug's amazing. All great channels in here. If I miss people, I'm sorry. Yeah, Big Fish was in here. Good to see Big Fish. Charlie Manson was in here like 3 times. Charlie Manson, necessarily evil. A lot of his other accounts are in here. The people who watch on the replay, I really appreciate. Grandma Sherry was in here. Grandma Sherry is amazing. She's awesome. It's always good to see her in here. Almost forgot Grandma Sherry here. Deb was in here. Deb's awesome. Boston Christian was in here. Thank you, Boston Christian, for coming in. I've known Boston Christian on True Crime for a long time. She's an awesome person. Jenny 867 was in here. Jenny's awesome. She's the one that doesn't want to wrench. That's fine. But it's always good to see Jenny 8675309 in here. And I think that's it. I think I got pretty much everybody. But if I missed somebody, I apologize for that. People on the replay, I really appreciate everybody on the replay. Lisa Joe was in here. Yep, JC Ann, Southern Gal, True Crime, Boston. Awesome. I'm gonna get out of here. That's what I'm gonna do. I hope you guys all have a great week. Whatever you do, don't die. I got my other channel going to Dean and Dino Reacts. Hiawatha was in here. That's right. Thank you. And on that channel, I do kind of reaction videos. Feel free to check that out if you want to. You don't have to. But I'm out of here. Let me play my outro and I'll get out of here. Whatever you do, don't die. Dave, 3 different personalities. My stomach hurt from my stomach hurts from laughing from that first case. That was just classic. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. JP. Feel free to check that out. Thank you, Mustang. You're awesome too. You guys are all awesome. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Have a great week. Take care.